Yeah. Hello, everybody. So today guests Anime Academy Colton Dabel and Christina Dabel. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
So this my new friends. Like they doing very cool YouTube teaching like a lot of essentials, a lot of foundations, and focus on anime and the manga stuff, right?
Yep.
Так, let me. Can you like? I'm interested also like little about your background. Like in general, first, like I want just like introduce everybody who work I admire. So I just like how you very well centered. I don't know how to say it properly. It's like because I'm from academia, right? So I like
hmm
all this like classical approach, even if it's like manga and anime, is still somehow very based on a certain tradition. So,
hmm
and interesting, like you mentioned before, like you study in the Fenju Academy,
Yep.
and yeah, can you tell like just like you asked me previously when I was on your stream, like now you guys tell about your story, like how you start to draw, how you choose to become, like when you decide to be artists and to be professionals.
Um, you want me to start?
Yeah, you start.
Okay. Well, when I was in high school, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. I mostly drew because I was just bored. I'm bored, and I draw anime characters for fun. And never really made fan art. I was only ever interested in making my own stuff. I didn't want to do copies of existing artwork, and I found, or I guess for my 18th birthday, I got a computer and Photoshop and a tablet. Well, I was using my dad's tablet and his Photoshop subscription, but I got a computer, and first thing I'm just like, well, digital art. How do I do digital art? And so I look it up and I find Fengzu's
Uh,
YouTube channel, and he's making videos about concept art, and I'm like, I have no idea what concept art is, and he was basically saying, yeah, I draw spaceships for a living for video games, and it's fun, and I do it all day long. And I'm just like, well, that sounds pretty cool. Like maybe I should do that. I don't know what I want to do, and I also find that it's really competitive, and I like very competitive stuff.
mm,
And so I was going to self teach though. I didn't have any money to go to a school, so I was going to teach myself and find mentors and teach myself in my bedroom. So I buy Scott Robertson's How to Draw perspective book, and I studied it in class while I was in high school. I would take it to
wow.
geometry class. And my geometry teacher, he didn't mind because it looked like geometry perspective. So he was like, "Okay, keep it up." And so he let me do drawing in class, and I specifically chose all of the classes, the easiest classes in high school that would give me the most time to draw. And then I actually had the opportunity later to go to the school, and it's located in Singapore. I don't even think it's actually open right now. I think they
Mm,
closed it temporarily a couple of years ago. Maybe not temporarily. I don't know. And studied there, and they're a foundation school, right? It's a year long. You're doing really long hours. Everybody's very serious. Most of the people there aren't kids. They're not going there to hang out and have fun. They're going there because they're 30 years old and they've worked a job they don't like for a long time, and they want to get into video games. And they're very serious. And I wasn't 30 though. I was 19. But a lot of my classmates, they had already gone to college for something else, or they had already worked in another industry, and they were coming and they were going, I don't like what I do, I want to change. So
mhm,
I mean, that school, they mostly focus on line work. It's perspective, line work, and design. It's only 3 terms. It's 1 year long, and you spend 14, I think they're 14-week terms. You go through and um, you have two perspective classes in term one. You have multiple design classes. They have the viscom, visual communication classes. You do some digital painting, but it's almost exclusively line work. The whole year you build a portfolio and you try to get a job. And that's
Okay, so it's
and
like
when I
mhm.
graduated, yeah.
Sorry. So it's like 1 year you prepare portfolios, and like how many like physical classes? Like you have like 5 day a week, or
Yeah,
how
you go
many
to
days?
school. Well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so in Singapore, in order to have student visas, the students have to be there all day, like in the actual school building. So we would go there. I don't remember. It was almost 10 years ago, but we were there from like 10 in the morning to I don't remember, maybe like 5 at night.
Mm,
And all
nice.
together in a classroom, the classes were like 30, 32 students, and you just draw all day, the whole day. And then you go home and you draw all night. It was like 16 hours of drawing every single day, almost the entire
Mm,
year. And they basically try to get students from beginner level to getting hired in a year. And it's very, very difficult to do that. Some people
yeah,
can do it, some people can't. Um, some people catch on a little bit faster than others. Some people have a background in drawing,
yeah.
but
No, at least you can see like who is really serious and will learn fast.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, and it's funny because like some of the people who come in who are the better artists are kind of like cocky, maybe a little bit arrogant,
Uh-huh.
and they don't work as hard. And then the people who aren't as good, they get better over the time there. And but anyways, it was a foundation school, so that kind of started my journey in foundation. And I'm a big fan of perspective, big fan of those fundamentals, those core fundamentals in art. And I worked afterwards. I did some theme park design for um, for a little while, and I had the opportunity to go to Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, and I
Mm-hmm.
went over there after like the year after, and I took a couple of terms, but ended up ended up leaving because I I was getting job offers and I was learning a lot on the jobs. And I'm not a very good student. I don't like classes. I don't like listening to teachers that much. I like doing my own thing. And I just wanted to work professionally.
Uh-huh.
And I I got hired on way back before it was ever announced. I was working on that game Outriders. It was a game that has to do with like superpowers on like a foreign on a far off planet, and I was doing early environment um, concept art for that, and it was so fun. And then I start art center term again, and I'm just like, this isn't as fun as what I was doing.
So
So
interesting. Like I want to also have this clear understanding. Like when you yeah, like everybody like draw some stuff in a school, like just random drawings, like favorite characters and
yeah,
thing. But then you decide to study hard. You get to this art school, Fenzhou Art School, and
mm.
how long it takes from you from like start studying consciously, like very like hard study to get first work with money with this payment, like how long it takes.
I guess for me, between 4 and 6,000 hours probably of practice.
No, I mean like if in,
Like
like months,
how many
5 months,
Oh,
1 year.
years. It took a number of years. It took a
Mm-hmm,
couple of years. I drew a lot growing up, but
mm-hmm,
I didn't know any foundation. When I was in high school, I studied as much as I could on my own foundation. I watched a YouTube channel when I was back in like 2000, maybe 13 and 14. They were called Level Up, and they basically went live every single Sunday to teach
mm-hmm.
art for free. And I watched them like religiously. I like showed up every
Yeah.
Sunday and I had my sketchbook, and they foundation, foundation, foundation. So I was practicing, but it took years. I mean, I had decided
Mm-hmm,
I wanted to become a professional when I was around 18.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, and then just before my 21st birthday, I got my first professional job, but I wasn't good. Like, I wasn't really good at drawing. Like, you see people, they can just draw.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I built a portfolio that showed I could design within a spec, and I got hired to do some theme park design, but I wasn't really good at drawing.
It's
I could
okay.
follow
No,
directions and create. Yeah.
no, this is not important. Like, you can see like in the Marvel, like some horrible artist drawing some horrible
Yeah.
comic books, right? But so
Yeah.
it's like it's important. It's just like when you really start to make money with it. So I just like it's
Yeah.
interesting for me. So it's like if you start like in the 80s, when you've been 18, you start to work towards this goal, and about after 2 years it was your first payment as artist.
Yeah.
2 years
Yeah.
after, right? So can say
Yeah.
like before Fenzhou you was too far from it. It's like actually this like a 10-hour drawing every day make you close in there, like
Oh
make it
yeah, there's
possible.
no way
Yeah.
I would have gotten hired beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's just a big fundamental grind. It's like the homework. It's exactly like the homework that you assign on your YouTube
Yeah,
channel. It's like
okay, yeah.
draw 20 sets of 2-point perspective with at least 10 boxes each. And of course, we're getting critiques on it, so it's like if we're doing something wrong, they point it out and they say, "Oh, this is actually going towards here, your vanishing point." Like those critiques take years off of learning if you're teaching yourself, because it's just like I may do something wrong for 6 months and don't know it, whereas a
Okay.
professional would look at my work and just be like, but yeah, there's no
So,
way I would have gotten hired before
so you
before
you
going
meet
over there.
Christina in the school? How do you meet together? Interesting, because you're both artists.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yep.
I guess I can talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Sorry.
well, should I start with how we met, or should I start
No,
with
no. Start
my
same. Like
origins?
start like your life story too. Like how
Okay, sure.
you.
Um, I was like, where do I start? So yeah, I drew as a kid. I drew since I was 4, and I just fell in love with anime. I fell in love with the shows that I watched as a kid. I was heavily inspired by Cardcaptor Sakura. I was really inspired by frilly things, dresses, anything that was
Hmm.
really cutesy. I just really liked, and I was always interested in making my own characters, and uh, I just drew a lot, and I was just obsessed with it. I didn't have any formal training until I was like, oh sorry, until I was much older. But I just
Mhm.
drew a lot because I just loved it, and I mostly focused on characters because this is what I like to do. And I took um, when I was in high school, I took an art high school, and it was like a design focused high school, um, and it wasn't. It was good, it was a good environment for drawing. They focused a lot on academics, and they had a interesting thing in the high school where you had like little majors, where from sophomore till senior year, you were in a specific. You could choose a specific design category that you could specialize in, and I signed up for industrial design because that allowed me to draw a lot. The other majors didn't really allow me to just have that raw drawing power, so I was like, I'm just
Hmm.
gonna full send the just drawing a bunch. And actually, at that time, I was already friends with Colton online, and we actually met in on an Art Amino, which is a little art community. And we were just art friends for a very long time. And he actually helped
Hmm.
mentor me during my later years in high school to prepare for college, which I went to Art Center, so the same school that he went to. And that was where I got my professional training. Although I also only went to Art Center for about 3 terms, and then I dropped out because I the direction of the curriculum wasn't necessarily what I initially signed up for. But I continued my education just through online classes and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I just did a lot of drawing and took a lot of figure drawing classes, perspective classes during those 3 terms. Part of me kind of wishes I continued to have the full way, but I don't regret it. Um, just because I was able to take the classes that I actually really wanted to improve in through Brainstorm and uh, Will Weston classes from Drawing America, and that's where I learned a bunch of
cool.
my
Yeah.
figure drawing. Yeah, he's just great. Honestly, I would say like his classes are so worth it. But I never worked in the concept artist thing or entertainment
Yeah.
industry. I was initially going to study for it, but instead I actually did courses online. So my first course for anime drawing was a clothing drawing course, and I started in 2019, right before I published my first course right after I got out of high school and was about to go to college. And just during the time that I was in art center, I took all the things that I learned and just turned them into courses, and they actually did really well. And so we built courses together during that time. So I think like that's kind of my story in a nutshell.
Nice. Yeah. So, but interesting how you find yourself so passionate about teaching. Why?
That's a good question. I think Colton. Well, let me just think for a second. My dad was a really big inspiration for helping me with critiques. Like I used to show him my drawings all the time, and he'd be like, "Oh, this is really good, but there's one thing that you can do just a little bit more." And I'm like, I have to do it, So I treated it like a challenge, and I always was inspired by the way how he critiqued my artwork. And then later on, when Colton came along and mentored me, I didn't know how effective it was to have that mentorship, to have that that guidance, because for the most part, everything that I've done I was just winging it. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just like, well, I'll just draw, and just the fact that I'm drawing, I guess, makes it will make it all okay. And but Colton was always just like, you got to learn the fundamentals, and if you want to go to college, because my parents wanted me to go to college, like go to art center, because they're gonna give you that environment and they're gonna give you the classes. And so once I took those classes, I was like, oh my gosh, like this really actually made my art way better. And I actually understand what I'm doing, like for the most part, and I wanted to share that. And I initially went into teaching because I thought it was a fun way to make money. It was like, oh, this is a new thing that I can try to just earn some extra income, like for my first, as an experience. And I kind of just continued with it because I realized that I could improve while I'm teaching and continue to take more classes and continue to teach it and spread it. So
Nice.
that's the start of mine, but Colton has a bit of a different experience.
Yeah,
of
how
teaching.
you start to feel like asking Colton, like you maybe because you spend so much money and time for Feng Shui, and you after saying like, oh, I need to make some money from it, you start to share your knowledge with people.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, for me, teaching, like I would never have been able to get where I am without teachers, without people who especially have given away so much content for free, like those guys that I used to watch in high school, the Level Up guys. It was Wojtek Fus, Derek Zabroki, and Jonas de Roo. Those three artists, they would go live every single Sunday for completely free for hours. They would interview professional artists, Scott Robertson, Feng Zhu, Craig Mullins, all the big names, and they would talk to them for hours, and they would draw and they would critique people's artwork for free. And I always had told myself when I was younger, I'm just like, I want to do something like that because it helped me so much. And they had such a fun community. They made art enjoyable, but it was also really hardcore. And when I found Fang's channel, he has just well over 100 episodes up for completely free on his channel. And it's just foundation. It's like those, he would always say core fundamentals. And I'm like, what are those core fundamentals? Like, what are they? And it's like, the anatomy, the figure drawing, the composition, the perspective, like draw through. That's such a big concept when you're a beginner, like draw through. Like, what is draw through? It's like, you see the other side. Oh, you see through it like it's transparent, so you know what's on the other side. And it's like, it's so important for being able to draw from imagination.
Yeah.
There's so many people, like, you don't know this stuff. You have to be taught it. Like, you're not gonna come up with it yourself. You have to learn it from somebody. At least the existence of it has to be, explained.
Yeah,
And
so many stuff you hear it after, it's like, oh, I wish at least hear a word about this, right? So at least I know it's something like this exists as a concept.
Yeah. And so I always wanted to start some sort of a community. I always say this on stream, but one of the I don't do the things that I do to try and maximize the amount of money that I make. I do the things that I do in order to maximize the variety of experiences that I have. So I was like, I want to be a live streamer. And so I didn't think we were going to make any money from it. We didn't think so. Most people don't, but we wanted to try live streaming. So we did. We want to go, I want to publish a book in my lifetime. I want to publish a book. And so we did. We published 2 of them. I mean, we got them right here as well. 2 books, and I'm really, really, really proud of them. And I've always been, these are, in my opinion, masterpieces. Especially book number 2.
I know how hard to make books.
Book number 2. Yeah.
Well, you definitely, you have your own books and stuff, and.
Yep. Yeah, and just, I mean, I'm so proud of.
So obsessed.
Victor's design. He's the number 1 character in my opinion in the book.
Nice.
And what we ended up doing is we go,
I really like
how can we try to do stuff? What's up?
I really like Juliet's dress.
Oh yes.
Juliet's dress I think about quite often.
Yeah.
I just find it.
And I always, when I was young, when I was in high school and grade school, it was always you're gonna go and you're gonna get a job and you're gonna have a career. What's up?
This dress. I love that dress.
I do.
Well, that dress is basically a more mature version of what I was into as a kid, and so and also Candy's dress as well.
It's kind of like a cheating to have a wife, artist wife, because for me I was always so hard to know how to draw women and how to draw their clothes. It's what they're wearing, and it's you walk in, all this women walking around, you never remember what is the clothes.
Yeah.
So I tried really hard on these designs, and I always loved drawing women, and so I'm just I have to do really good on these, and
nice.
I actually forgot to ask Jean, is your wife also an artist, or no?
No, she was studied design, and she works so many places, and I don't know. I just love her as a person. She's amazing person. Not because she's artist something. And it's kind of people, you just you glad you met in your life, really this. You think wow, this is so cool. Every time you think okay, I want to be good enough to match. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah, so just doing art together, and I mean, we just honestly the way that we live is we do art, we like it, we try stuff, and if it doesn't work, we learn from it, and if it works, then that's awesome.
Well, I would say a lot of my inspiration was from Colton, the way how I think about risk and just trying new things. It's he's always there's no risk. You just try it. There's no harm in it. And I really carried that through. That was, I mean, that's why I started my courses, was because I'm just I'm just going to do it. I'm going to try it, because nothing's really going to come out if I don't try something. And it was really good. I was always inspired by him about that.
It's
something else.
Also, it's kind of right now, this mainstream culture so much. I see so everywhere, in Asia, in the West, everywhere. It's so vulnerable. Everybody's so sensitive, and also kind of in this, me, kind of I'm one of guys whose people think I'm very big and danger guy, kind of, right? So it's some people were afraid of me. and I was like embarrassed by that. So like kind of like I don't want people afraid of me, you know. Like I feel
Aw.
uncomfortable like to when people are afraid of me, kind of stuff. So I kind of push myself to be more soft, more nice to everyone. But then like a couple years ago, I said like, okay, screw it. I don't want to worry about this anymore because opposite, actually, like world right now lacking this. Like we need more talk about. You should be more tough. You should be more even brutal. You know, nothing wrong with being brutal and aggressive. It's like when you like a good guy, kind of, right? Like
Headstrong.
when
Assertive.
you're when you're like standing for the right things, yeah, totally fine. So don't need to kind of like turn it upside down when it's like, oh, if you say like not nice words, it make you evil. No, this doesn't. It doesn't make you evil. Because there's so
Well, it's
many
like,
nice talking evil people who's like actually
oh, that's
doing bad.
true.
Yeah. So
That is true.
Yeah.
uh, and kind of I forget why I say this.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know, but I
So
think it's always interesting. I
Yeah.
like it. I like
yeah,
these kind
so
of conversations. It's always fun.
I talk in this to about how we need to more force ourselves sometimes to be more tough on ourselves without being too kind and too soft. So like for example, like when I want motivate myself, it's like, what do you afraid? I mean, obviously, like 100%, like if I do bad stream, nobody will punch me in the face, right?
That's literally what we say. We're like, hey, if we make a bad video, nobody's gonna watch it anyways. So
Yeah.
it's like there's no harm in it.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is one of the good things about social media is if you make something that's not good, nobody watches it anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
5 people, and then they leave.
Hmm.
And if you make something good, it's like 100% upside, no downside.
yeah.
Oh,
So
I remember hearing something. Oh,
yeah.
just
Okay.
talking more about like being more real and not being so, I guess, worried about what other people think.
Yeah.
It's like if you're real, then you will attract the people who are attracted to the real you.
You know,
And it's like, well, then you don't have to worry about insulting someone else because the people that you attract already like you for who you are, anyways. So I think that's always interesting.
yeah.
I think that's interesting.
Yeah, and like it's also like very good school like for me like when you know the difference between people who draw couple pictures and artists who need to constantly draw. Like when you really need to produce, it's absolutely another thing. It's absolutely different quality stuff. And here, same way, I practice this like work ethic when I do my YouTube. I try to do like at least like 3 video every week, like minimum. And sometimes is you know all this like fear and doubts they just start to stacken. Like when I did it like every day, it's like stacken, and then I wake up so like, what am I doing? Am I a crazy person? Like why I keep doing this video? Like I even don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh my gosh.
And it's very
I
yeah.
completely feel that, yeah.
It's very interesting. So to see like how your brain like start to drift like everywhere, and you need to hold yourself together and say like, bro, like you have a schedule, you have your like a regime. You need to do what you plan to do, and this is some kind of weather in your head. Just like row your boat, row row your boat. That's it. Like and this is amazing school. It's so amazing and important because I see this is all what it means to make, to produce, to be like a content maker, author, artist, because yeah, everyone will stop. It start to feel like first, you know, it's like some wind in your face, then this wind is stronger, then it feels like you're just standing against the wall, like all your fears are your doubts, there's just start like you just standing like in front of this wall, you cannot move, like you're paralyzed. It's like I don't know
I
what
feel
I'm
like
doing,
that
like
in that expression.
Yeah.
and it's amazing. Yes, it's like so when you keep like explaining yourself, like I start to like trick myself, like so, like, come on, just push live, go live, that's it. We'll see what happens. Yes, amazing.
The very first time that we went live was on TikTok,
Hmm.
and we were going to do a test live stream, but it says, "Oh, prepare test live stream." So I go, "Oh yeah, we need to test stuff
it,
to see if
just to
it works."
practice.
And then it's like 3, 2, 1, and it's like, "Okay, you're live." And it's funny because for some reason, and I don't know if this is just because I don't know why, but usually when people hit the live button, like especially on TikTok, it'll be like, 0 people, 1 people, 0 people, 1 people, 0 people, like people scrolling past and not watching.
Well, like you see all the people who you see all the different lives and how many people come in and come out and stuff.
Yeah, but for some reason, our first stream wasn't like that. It was a lot. It was like, oh, there's 10 people here. Oh, there's 15 people here. Oh, there's 20. Now it goes up to 50, and then it passed 100, and then there were 200 people, and they were all watching live, and it was our very first live stream, and that was almost a year ago today. I think maybe 2 weeks from now it'll be a year since we started live streaming, and it was kind of fun. Like it was almost like thrilling.
It was
like,
very thrilling. Like I didn't have a proper sleep for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And all I just kept thinking was
thousands and thousands of people coming by on the stream and asking questions and watching. I think we might have had like, what was like 5. How many people were on our very first live stream, came and watched, and
I
it
think
was like 5,500 or something?
yeah, it was 5,000. Yeah, 5,500.
Yeah.
I remember you told me you were like on Twitch. That's like a
That's
decent
a lot
stream.
of people.
Yeah.
And,
And I'm like, oh, okay.
TikTok used to be very, very, very overpowered for live streaming. It's not as much anymore. It still can be a little bit, but they've nerfed it a lot. But and that was the start of it. And we started streaming 3, 4, 5 times a week in the beginning. We opened up our Discord server and started having all these people join and just enjoying teaching and having fun and seeing what happens. Just like, let's just see what happens. And worst case scenario, we're back where we started and we have a lot more knowledge now. But that was a lot of fun.
When you're actually doing things and doing it like for a long time, right? So it's give you actual picture of actual reality. Because like all this, like kids, all and we are at beginning long time ago, like 1 month ago, say, like always feel like everybody care about us. Like like you make this video and now like all major news, everybody will talk about it. Everybody's like, have you seen this guy? Like, let's make him famous. Like, make everybody hate him, because he don't know how to speak English.
Yeah.
Well, I think with the internet, especially with strangers, it's the culture basically to immediately find something that's worth insulting and make it funny. And for some people, like it's not their cup of tea, but for others, they just get really riled up on it. And I remember when we made TikToks and all that stuff, we failed. Well, I shouldn't say we failed, but our videos did not do very well and get a lot of traffic for a very long time. And it was to the point where we were like, oh, should we just give up? Like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. I don't understand what we're doing wrong. And then Colton took a bunch of courses on psychology and persuasion, and he implemented that into our videos. And all of a sudden, we had a video on clothing that was our first. No, I shouldn't say that. It was a side. It was a 3/4. So it was me drawing a hack of here's how you draw a 3/4 head, starting with a side profile.
Yeah. How about you just hold up? This is what she drew in the video. It's just is really
it's
where is it here?
Yeah. So I basically just drew. I started with a side profile.
Draw bigger, just like a quick demonstration.
Okay. I'll make it was like this. Side view. Then I just extended the head out a little bit, pushed out the cheek, and all of a sudden we got a 3/4. Super easy.
Mm-hmm.
And that video was our first more viral video that we've ever made.
Yeah.
And we were like, wait a second, like there's something going on here. Like we didn't expect that. And so after that feedback and after, you know, Colton taking all those courses and helping us with the script, and we made another video on clothing, which actually did really, really well. It was like almost 1 million views.
Yeah. Well, it has like over 2 million now.
Over 2 million now.
But yeah.
And we noticed that as we made more videos, there would be some videos where it was kind of controversial. Not like heavily controversial, but enough where people were commenting on it a lot. Like I always kind of regret it, but actually I don't. I shouldn't say I regret it. There was a video I drew with curly hair, and I didn't say a specific type of braid right because I didn't know. And a lot of comments are saying that's not this. It's supposed to be this. And I'm like, oh crap, like I didn't do my research.
Yeah.
I should have done my research. But afterwards, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do another video. And it's going to be, I'm going to make sure I do my research, and I'm going to add a bit more variety to the different types of braids. Mm-hmm. And after that, everybody just was like, oh my gosh, like I feel so seen. Like this is my hair. I can't believe, like, oh, like for instance, sister locks. Oh my gosh, sister locks. It's in this video. It's like, hooray, that's my hair. And everything kind of came together after that video. So we also had to get used to not really caring about negative comments, because that's just, we had to detach. Mm-hmm, so that was all part of our, you know, emotional journey with TikTok and social media.
It's been a really interesting journey.
Mm-hmm.
We get so many comments now we can't even read them all. I don't want to read them all. I don't really care anymore that much, but in the beginning, I read all the comments, and I'm like, oh, what does that say?
What did they
that
say?
Person's unhappy. Oh no! And now it's just like, I don't even read them. Just too many, you know. Our last video has 1,560 comments, and I didn't read most of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, another thing is when we made our courses on Udemy, the first few negative comments were the first negative reviews were so heart-wrenching. We were like, oh no, we didn't do a good job. They don't like it. And then same thing happened where when our courses blew up and we started getting a lot more students, and the negative reviews didn't really matter as much anymore.
Yeah. You do something so much that you become desensitized to it, and then that becomes the new platform that you're moving forward from. It's kind of like that sort of thing. Like, so I don't know, if you draw 2 hours every single day, you get so used to it that now you're like, well, maybe I should do 3, maybe I should do 4, and then you go to 3 and you're like, you do 3 as long as you can remember, and now it's just like, well, now it's normal. You adapt to it.
Well, now 3 hours don't feel so long anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't feel long at all. Like, that was live streaming in the beginning. It was just like, now, I mean, we've been live streaming. I think we're about to hit about 1,000 hours live streamed, estimated. Wow. We don't know exactly, but we've probably streamed either a little bit more than or a little bit less than 1,000 hours in the last year. And so it's so normal now. We're just like, okay, we're gonna go live, and we go live, and then we do our stream and everything, and you finish. But it's that way with comments and negative comments. Like, you get so many negative comments that you're just like, I don't care anymore. I don't even.
Like, they don't even know us. Like, they don't know how much work we put into these videos. Like, so whatever. We didn't make it for them anyways.
No, like what I see, like negative comments is just like a result of big reach. That's it. Because like when I have these videos on my channel, which like I make video, for example, like how to draw like Kim Jong-gi, it's get like maybe 3 times more views than other videos, like a less catchy kind of, and there always somebody push dislike. So it's like when it's more views, somebody will push dislike. And you know, some guys just, he came across, he's just like, I hate this dude, and he pushed dislike. It's like no reason. It's like, who you think you are? You think you can talk about Kim Jong-gi? Who give you rights to make video about Kim Jong-gi, you know? Something like this.
But
so
it's funny because they're coming from it's more like, to the commenter, it's just like, well, it's the same thing. Like who gives you the right to comment on someone you don't know anything about?
And
Like
say what they're doing is wrong.
if this artist can't comment, it can't talk about Kim Jong Il, then who knows if you can talk about this artist? Like you don't know who they are, and it's just not. It's just not offensive. It's just not offensive to me at all. Like it is what it is. There's some random person out there. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
I heard this piece of advice, which is if you don't aspire to be like someone, then you shouldn't take their critiques, because their critiques are basically geared towards becoming more like them. And if I don't want to be like them, then why would I listen to the critique?
Yeah, and also like for me myself, I eventually, like you say, like when you draw a lot or when you make a lot, it's something became your normal. And like for me, like
Yeah.
first of all, I figure out like first of all, I need to make sure I like it. So because I train my honesty, right? Is I think it's crucial to have like most objective and honest perception of your own stuff, right? So, and I train it and I criticize myself. And if my criticism tell me it's good, I don't care when somebody else criticizes it. Like really,
Hey,
because like
that's
That's
a good
good.
way to think about it.
yeah, so
That's
like and I read how they criticize, say, bro, like it's not even so bad like I do it, you know? It's like I hear it already in my head like 100 times.
I don't need to hear from you. It's like that.
Yeah,
Well,
like who are you?
so
Like you even don't know how much work I done, right? Like how much pain it was to get to this result. Like you think your
mhm.
opinion matter? No, not much. Like
Yeah. I find that when I'm making a video and I'm trying to have a better relationship with making content. Because for me, I tend to criticize myself too much. Or I would be like, this one little mistake
Mhm,
isn't right, everything's not good. Rather than thinking, okay, here's things that are actually working. There's only just a few things that might need a little bit of adjusting. And
mhm,
I had that mentality, and I still kind of have that. I'm just still battling with it. Is I'll make the video, I'll be like, oh, it's not good enough, blah, blah, blah. But then I'll be like, wait a second. Once again, there's just no risk in making this video. There's just, every video is a learning experience. Like everything, I mean, it's kind of what you said, it's basically what you said when we were interviewing you, where like every drawing that you make, it's not necessarily a failure. It's basically always a win because you're learning something from it. And I'm starting to take that with videos now, where it's like, it's just, I'm going to learn everything that I can and make and do my best for each video and learn and implement things that we've learned into the videos and see how it does. And it's like a gamble, it's kind of like a gamble. And if it does
mhm.
well, then I'm like, okay, well, what did work? And then it builds a bit more confidence after making those videos, because it really does suck to make a video that you tried really hard on and there's just not many views. It didn't really hit. Um, but I'm finding that if I enjoy if I find ways to enjoy the video making process, I will more likely um, want to do more content and be less afraid. Because I feel like
Yeah,
my main thing is resistance and that fear of
yeah,
what if it's not good enough. But I feel like, well, who's critiquing other than myself?
yeah. And it's kind of like this critique when like we know, like when is some real master or knowledgeable person like give you advice or like kind of find your mistake, right? And sometimes like people give this constructive critique, and I can say like if he mistaken, right? Or I double check, maybe I am mistaken really. So I will double check and I write like a good reply. I will not like sometimes I want to angry answer something, but I learned already how to make let's say how to hold emotions and then say like okay, like I don't want to hate this guy. Like we really don't know each other, right? So I should give example how to like be like civilized person, right? So I want to give him like really good answer for his comment. So I double check, like he say like, oh, here you explained about perspective, you being wrong. And it's like, okay, I double check. So like, no, actually, like it's correct. It's just it's a thing that you might be like very confusing with certain points, and that's why I make this video to make sure it's like, okay, here is a real way. This is really how it works. And some people, they don't actually watch video, they just jumping around, so like, I know this guy is no don't know what he talking about. And they rush the comment. But I did couple videos when it was like mistake, like yeah, like 2 year ago maybe, and after it's like I said, what, it's insane, like what I told there is so weird, it's absolutely wrong. So I delete this video. But now if I might do like streams when I just feel I don't make it, like education quality is not good, like I should like try one more time, or like I need to think better how to organize this like train of thought, right? Like how to organize this delivery of this subject, like how to better explain it in a sequence. So, and I might like make video it's like, no, it's not good. So it's like, delete stream, stop it.
It's like art, it's something that you get better at with practice and time.
Yeah, for sure.
Just lots of practice, explaining things, good articulation, making sure you can figure out the right words, the delivery is correct, the illustrations that you make to explain it are consistent and
Makes sense.
it flows logically and all that kind of thing. It's just it's a really big I've been doing mentorships and teaching for a long time, since like 2020, and I mentored a whole bunch of students one-on-one, and every single one I see is like practice. Like I need to practice being able to explain something better, or the concepts behind something, and all that sort of thing. Yeah, that's made in ZBrush.
ZBrush. Oh.
Yeah,
that's ZBrush.
ZBrush. Yeah.
What's this? I forget. I say wow, and after it's like, wait a second.
Sculpting, like a sculpting 3D. They make creature art and stuff in it.
Wow.
Yeah. When I started 3D, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what a polygon was. I was making these models, and I didn't even know what a polygon was.
Wow.
Like I had no idea, and they were just all insert meshes, so it was just like millions and millions of polygons thrown into there, and I didn't know. I was just playing. It was like I was playing with Legos.
Oh, I remember this.
Oh yeah, that's
your mentorship website.
That's John's work.
It's a John. Yeah, nice. It's your student makes 3D and concept art.
Yep.
Okay, nice. Yeah. John Herzog.
Yep.
Cool.
He's a really, really hard worker. Very good student.
Let's scroll up. So here's your
little.
Oh yeah.
It's so cute.
I didn't know what to put there. I needed a picture of me.
Yeah. It just makes you look so friendly. I love it.
Rounded, friendly
Very
shape.
friendly.
Round corners.
Very friendly shape.
Yeah. I just met with a student earlier today, actually.
Oh yeah, that was Toby, right?
Toby.
Yeah, Toby's great. We should have him on your mentorship website.
Yeah, Toby's great.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
You work on so many projects, you forget what you work on. Have you had that happen? Like you do so many arts, you look at an artwork and you're like, did I make this?
Yeah, I forget already.
I don't remember drawing this.
I almost like losing everything I did before sometimes. And after it's like, oh my god, I draw so many stuff.
That's Christina's old work.
That's my old work for Art Center. Yeah. My application.
What was that, 2019?
Yeah, 2019.
Oh, it looked like a cyberpunk interior from Cyberpunk to
yeah.
They steal it from you. Wait a second. Yeah, really.
Maybe. No.
You'll be playing a video game. Wait a second.
If that's yeah. Oh, that's my very old
It's
work.
like
That one's not as
it's
old. That one's a bit more recent.
Yeah.
That one's old.
that's nice. Yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
the same character, it's just different design now.
Yeah.
I mainly work on a lot of personal work, so most of my stuff is more illustration.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do need to work and do more different things because it's just gonna be better in the long term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how about like have you think about like making manga or?
Oh, I would love to make a manga.
Yeah.
That's basically one of my dreams. Like I remember as a kid, I would think, oh, one day I want to make a manga that I can work on for the rest of my life. That was one of my dreams. I was like, I want to work on a story that I can work on forever.
Yeah.
But obviously, a story always has to come to an end. But I just love the idea of making mangas. I think before I went to my high school, I used to be so obsessed with Clip Studio because they had those screen tones, digital screen tones, and I would make my own comic pages, and it was so much fun. It was like playing in a sandbox. It was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I still like doing it to this day, just with Photoshop instead. And I make little comics every now and then for our community. Not for our community. Well, yeah, for our community, but also for like little comics featuring our characters and our brand.
Yep.
And I try to basically have every excuse to make comics, because that's just my comfort. That's just my guilty pleasure. It's not really guilty, but
Yeah.
yeah. And then there's some, yeah.
Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, like but here's interesting is because I think it's important is like towards what you teach and learn. So like I in my channel, like I'm not just teach perspective in general, because it's like no, there is not just like perspective in general. If you want to study it like on a deep level, it's always will be some direction, some specific. So there is like perspective for like making drafts like architects, or making drafts like some kind of concept designs for industrial production, right? Like I hope I say it correct. Like like making design of actual cars, design of actual
Yeah.
um, like teapots and mobile
Props and
phones. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, like a very
there,
industrial design.
yeah, like Marshall Van Drove, like he show his works, his like portfolio, like when he was in this like ancient times, he was draw it with the um, spray. I forget how it's used, like like rapidograph kind of art. And yeah, so I did a lot of illustrations, like perfect perspective, like hyper realistic stuff. So and me, like I decide I want to teach perspective for people like to be able to draw, yeah, like Kim Jong-gi, and most importantly like illustrator and comic book artist, and some like maybe manga, maybe like American comic book style or European. And I'm personally, I like this kind of mix of American and manga style. European for me feels like too static. They somehow like
I
make
agree.
it, yeah. It's like
You don't feel that
so,
energy.
yeah. But some of the, it's very interesting. Some of them make it like paintings. So it's like you open comic book and there you have like a painting in which a lot of stuff has happened. It's like many information, many events in one panel or in one page. Like I don't know, like a couple hours of events, right? When you take like Akira, okay, this is Akira is like a movie. So there's like just like almost like frame by frame, like
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
many.
We did
So
watch
many.
We did
Akira.
watch Akira.
Ah,
We
nice.
watched it.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Like I liked it a lot, more than most movies I see these days.
It was very grungy, and I liked it.
There's the kitty.
I saw that on like one of your video
Yeah,
thumbnails.
the
I was like,
thumbnail was
what? Like, what is this Gene Bond's cat? I was like, is this real? I thought I
kinda
heard a
cool.
meow. Oh, what's his name or what's their name?
Nina. It's
Nina.
Nina.
girl,
Oh,
girl,
cute.
yeah. It's a
Oh,
Russian name, Nina.
want to get a poppy? Oh,
Nina.
okay.
It's
Oh,
gorgeous.
oh, I have wait a second. We have like a donation from Alex
Oh,
Rodriguez. How do you feel about resources like script or manga? Script or manga sites that have free PDFs of scanned comic books, manga.
I want one of those.
I don't know
Again,
this. Yeah,
comic books.
yeah.
I
I
haven't
kind
heard
of
of
like
it.
I never heard of
I
it.
feel confused about like Udemy and all this online teaching because they're so cheap. I was like, wait a second, they're like killing online education with these cheap courses. Because like I bought
Well,
Yeah,
myself
it's
like 20 maybe of them, for like $5 kind of. And I was like,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
so cheap.
they could be very hit or miss. We actually built courses on Udemy for a really long time.
yep.
And basically the way it is that you click a little checkbox and you allow Udemy to put your classes on sale for you. If you don't
Mm,
check that box, they'll never show your class to anybody. So you kind of have
yeah.
to click the checkbox. But they allow anybody to upload a course on you don't have to have any sort of a background at anything. You can just build a course and upload it. So classes tend to be a very hit or miss. Sometimes you'll get something extremely high level artist or teacher who's been doing something for 40 years and they put a class on Udemy and it's like $10 and
Yeah.
the class is like 20 hours long and it's the best experience of your life. Other times some person who doesn't know anything about a subject and
Yeah.
has such a strong accent you can't even understand them, and usually the reviews will tell you. I like to scroll through reviews a lot, but I like it. I like accessible education. It's kind of like YouTube, it's like anybody
Mhm.
uploads a video if they want it. Yeah, it's not they're not really vetted. Like you might get good, you might not. You try it. It's not super expensive. You can get a refund if you want. But
Yeah.
some Udemy courses though, oh my gosh, they're so good. Others, I'm just like,
No, anyway,
I.
it's like, sorry. Yeah, it's just like my thoughts,
Oh no, go
but
ahead.
then I decide to make like my tutorials like when I have no control at all. Like I don't know what should I say, what should I not, like what put under paywall, what is not put on. It's very hard. So I was chat with AI. I say like, hey AI, like I'm a geek, I'm a noob, I don't have friends. Like, can I ask you a couple like what
yeah,
should I do? And like we just discuss about the subject, like am I destroying like education? Am I destroying like this careers of my colleagues are teachers if I will tell for free all the secrets and perspective? And like I afraid like you'll say like if I like pass away, like and nobody will ever know it, or like it's still like not everybody will find it. So it's like I just, in other hand, I help more people to be aware because it's not so easy. It's not like, oh, you're here one time and now you get it, right? Like you
yeah,
doing just good job of spreading like this idea of this knowledge at least, and so people will get more and more serious and they will have better big picture about it, so they can after go and
yeah,
watch more like they can go to real courses after, like to real life education.
yeah,
So yeah, so eventually I figure like say, okay, I don't want to worry about it. So I will tell everything I think is best, like do everything I can do without worrying like people should pay for this. Yeah, eventually it was
Mhm.
my decision. And sorry, like here's also Alex Rodriguez. He's like about, yeah, he asked like, how do we feel about uh like pirates who sharing for free art books and the manga on the website? How do you feel about it?
I mean, A lot of people do it with our book.
And our courses, they
And our
pirate them.
classes. They're all pirated. You can find books. Just recently we got a message from a friend who's a fellow content creator, and she said, "Hey, I saw an advertisement on Instagram for your book volume 2. They took your video off of TikTok and they're selling your book using your own video, but they're selling your book on their website. They've stolen our book. They've taken it and they basically are selling it using our own advertisements." And I don't like it. Like, obviously I hate it, but it ends up becoming like once you
Crazy.
start getting bigger, it's like whack-a-mole. Like, do I spend all my time trying to stomp out, like, we found people who've downloaded our classes and have started a Patreon and are charging people to watch our own videos.
Oh,
We found there's so much of it. There's so much of it. But at the end of the day, like, I'm passionate about teaching, and so if I'm spending my whole day trying to get rid of people who are stealing our stuff, I'm not able to help people by teaching them. Like, so what do? Do I play whack-a-mole, and every time a new person steals our stuff, I go and hammer down on it? Or do I just keep making YouTube videos and keep publishing books, and most people buy them from us because they want to support us?
Mhm.
Some people pirate it. I don't think people who pirate would have bought it anyways. Like, so I don't think we're really losing a lot with that. I don't think they should pirate it. I don't want them to, but it's very interesting. I feel bad for the people who are getting scammed because they end up finding out, oh my gosh, that
That was a lie.
One thing we're trying with book number 3 is we're going to just embed our own brand in it so much that you can't separate us from the book. So if someone steals it and pirates it, it's all of our characters that people are seeing. It's Colton and Christina. It's the characters from our book. So even if they, like, you would have to rewrite the entire book in order to remove us from it. Like, it's not just, that's what we're doing with book number 3. Like, our characters that we designed, like, this is the face of our brand. Like, this girl right here, these two girls right here, they are the faces of our brand. And so when someone steals our book, the book is completely full of them. They're everywhere. Like, it's the whole book, every single chapter
Has them in it.
Every single chapter has them in it. And people will be like, I've seen that before. I see that here. I see that there.
I see these characters are familiar, and
Yeah.
and later on, like, as we created more characters, we're like, oh, these ones are our brand. You know, like,
every
these
single-
characters are our brand. It's
So
kind of
what's-
like Hello Kitty, like Sanrio.
So you have already 3 books, or you work on a 3rd book right now?
We're getting started on a 3rd book.
Ah,
We've just
okay.
started planning it.
And what this will be about? Like book name or something?
It's going to be more about, what was it going to be about? World building?
World building, creating your own world,
Yeah.
designing props, designing environments, designing characters.
Yeah. Cohesive story. Like, book number 1 was about the basics, some anatomy, figure drawing, gesture drawing, how to think about colorings, that kind of stuff. Book number 2 is all about designing characters, using shapes, personalities, expressions, costume, clothing, research, reference. Book number 3, we want it to be more like world building. What if I were to make an actual world with a story where this person, this maybe there's like a captain of a ship. Well, what does his ship look like? What does the world look like? What kind of gear? What age is it from? What technology do they have? How do the characters interact with each other? How do you make maybe like an illustration with multiple characters where something's happening and it's interesting? Kind of like what we did at the end of book number 2, except more in depth.
Nice. Yeah, and also, like, because I'm from Russia, so I know, like, in Russia there's just general attitude to copyrights. Like, nobody care about copyrights. Nobody care about, like, like, pay artist or pay author. They just, like, go and find for free. Like, they find some like stolen, pirated.
That's my class.
Yeah, that's your class.
Yeah, so this, like, you're from Udemy. Yeah, and
Wait a second,
same,
was that
like,
really my drawing of Miki? No way.
This is
And same,
this
Oh
is
my gosh,
very,
that's
very
very
old
old.
stuff.
yeah,
2019, I think.
nice. But still, yeah,
Wow.
looks cool. I like how many stuff you cover in
Oh, that's a
this
good one.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I also,
I
when I
think this
was
is a
in
very
China,
good course.
same kind of in China is a culture like when in for other reason, like in China, I think it's like there, if nobody know you stealing, it's fine. So it happened with me in the real life, and
Yeah.
people doing it, like with all brands and stuff. So like I met people who also been copying my work, and it's like, how they even find it? I don't know. It's so popular in China, and but they're been like copying my work, and so I guarantee whatever you do, it will be stolen in Russia and China, just 100%.
Yeah.
You will never know how much it can be like shared and spread for free in China and Russia. Like
Yeah.
like people worry about AI. Don't worry, like China AI will take everything. Well, they will take everything and they will never ask. Then nobody will
It's
ever ask.
it's we're definitely moving into a very crazy time.
Wow, look at that, the change.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You
Mm.
can see the change in the quality.
So the characters in the beginning of that video, those were my drawings back then, and he put them in the advertisement, and I'm like, wait a second, that was my drawing.
Yeah,
That was very old.
that was interesting.
That was very interesting. I didn't even know
I
that.
haven't looked at that video in years.
Yeah. Well, actually, just kind of talking about that is my mindset about it is they can't create it anyways. Like, yeah, they may steal it, but in the end, they're depending on us. So
Yeah.
if we stop it, if we stop making content, they're like leeches or parasites. Like they got nothing
Yeah.
else to live off from.
Yeah, they can't create without us.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to stop creating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And also like knowing like from this like kind of type of people kind of environment. I know all those people who steal like all these comic books, art books, whatever. They just like can't stop. And after when they have like a million and thousands of the stuff, they don't even read it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they will download it. They say like, yeah, now I will learn how to draw manga, and he will never actually start. So
That's very true. I don't even read some of the books that I buy, let
Yeah.
alone.
yeah.
Yeah. It's um I don't remember what the term is for it. It's like basically hoarding, right? Like it's
Yeah,
kind of
like a hoard.
like a hoarding mentality. You're just like, I
Yeah.
get all the books, download everything. I have 2 terabytes of pirated stuff, not even opened the
Never
folder
opened it
once.
once.
It's just there on the hard drive. And then another gigabyte of stuff. Oh yeah, I put it in the basket. Never goes in there.
Yeah. Like Alibaba or somebody, like I have so much
Oh.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Alibaba, AliExpress,
Yeah.
all that stuff, drop shipping.
Yep.
Yeah.
And same with tutorials. Dan was telling me about this website.
Oh, Bilibili?
Billy? Is that it? Might be it.
Might be.
They have like everybody's classes pirated and up for free. It's all you
Yeah,
have
like
to be
in
able to read
China
Chinese to be able to
websites.
find it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
he was telling me that website exists. It's just literally everything. It's just up there
Yeah.
available. And people who really genuinely want to learn, people who really genuinely want to grow and become professional artists, there's dignity in doing it the right way as well.
Mhm.
Like
It's like a code of honor.
yeah, it's like a code of honor, exactly. It's like I take the class by, and another thing is same with the mentorship. Like we've taken Will Weston's classes. Like
Mhm.
you show up in class and he teaches you live and he critiques your work. You can't pirate live critiques. You can't pirate
Mhm.
live classes. You can pirate recorded things. You can pirate books. You can do all that. Maybe you can sneak into a class, but like if you want to take a mentorship with someone and you talk to them, you can't like pirate that.
Yeah.
You're paying
No,
for the mentorship.
but also, like, like I say, it's a culture thing. Like, even if
Yeah.
we talk about like bad stuff, it's like, can say it's also kind of culture. So I know like some professionals from Russia, like who's now like
Yeah.
work like in like top tier kind of stuff, super top professionals. And he like
Yeah.
confess on his one of his workshops, he say like he start to learn from all the stolen tutorials, but then he
Yeah.
pay for all, because like no, at beginning he don't have any money, like he cannot afford to
Yeah.
go to study. But when he became professional, yeah, he start to pay for it. He buy books, he send money for just like because yeah, it's certain, it's is not different from real life. Like when you steal, you steal, and like if you
Yeah.
have a conscience, right? Like you will feel like you need to fix it. Like you cannot live without with it. Like now, and especially like now you work with these people. You know them. You might know already. Start to know them personally. They talk with you like, "Hey, buddy, like you're my colleague artist." But you never pay them for material you study from. You know, like that's why like everybody need to buy a Scott Robertson book, because it's like it's everywhere. So you need to
Mhm.
buy to have it at home, and also like to support his work, because people did it and copy and spread it everywhere. It's like he create whole thing, like make
Yeah.
it so popular. Yeah.
Yeah, we were
It's
just at the
awesome.
bookstore here, and that book was on the shelf.
Really?
Yeah.
James Gurney, what?
Should I
Scott
read it?
Yeah,
Robertson.
James
Oh,
Gurney.
that's
Yeah, I
fine.
bought his
James
books
Gurney
too.
has a new book. I bought it. Actually, it came with a little card. It says to Colton on it. Yeah,
What?
sketching from what's it called? Life, sketching from life. It's on the counter. Do you want to
Yeah.
grab it?
Yeah, I can grab it.
Yeah, he published a new book recently. I had pre-ordered it, and it came with these little postcards and stuff, and then it said a little to Colton on it, and it's signed, and I didn't know that.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
have
the
art.
book's not signed. The
Mm.
the card is signed.
I have art
Yeah.
book from Kim Jong-gi with signed
Oh,
with signed
really?
poster. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, artist guide to sketching. Here it is.
Oh wow,
This
and I didn't know about
it
it.
is. Yeah. So James Gurney and Thomas Kincaid, the really famous
Painter.
painter, Kincaid paintings, they traveled around the whole country together when they were students, drawing from life. There they are,
Nice.
James Gurney
Mm-hmm.
and Thomas Kincaid.
Wow, they look so
And
classy.
yep, and they went all over the country and drew, and they made a book on it. Well, I mean, Thomas Kincaid I don't think is around anymore, but James Gurney still is. He still makes YouTube content and does workshops and goes to like Lightbox Expo
Wow.
and everything. But yeah, this whole book is gorgeous. It's a really really nice
Nice.
book. What is
Yeah.
this? Is this gouache?
It's kind of
Gouache
amazing
on
that
watercolor paper. Nice.
it's kind of amazing that James Gurney does YouTube content and does all this stuff at his age, and
Yeah.
he's just still super passionate. Like I want to be like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And honestly, you have inspired us a lot.
You have.
lately.
You really have.
Really. Yeah.
Finding your channel and seeing how hardcore you are and the level that you are, still so hardcore, drawing all the time, streaming for hours, and doing so much perspective and going out and drawing and traveling and stuff. Christina and I are just like, I think we've gotten soft. We need to become more hardcore again.
We need to have a thicker skin.
We've been doing all this painting. I've started doing acrylic painting, and I'm doing all these color wheels and practicing mixing paint. I'm like, I've always wanted to do traditional paintings and sell them. You know what? I'm gonna do that now. So I'm painting every single day after stream now.
I've always wanted to go to like a really hardcore like school, like an atelier, or like some kind of in-person like painting class that just makes you do a bunch of homework. Cause like I miss those. I miss that time. Like I really do. Like I really like being on the grind.
Yeah.
It's just I feel like it's like that motivation thing where you kind of go and go and go, and then you kind of slowly slow down, and then you kind of stop, and then it's really really hard to get back again.
You need to start to make manga. This I think is the most hardcore you can be.
That's actually true. They're very hardcore.
Yeah.
They have to draw like all.
Yeah. Oh, cat.
Yes,
Come on.
the kitty.
Oh, let me take more coffee. That's...
Kitty, kitty.
Yeah, it's we've really kind of re-hardcored ourselves lately. Just like I want to be a respected artist. One of my best friends, he's a oh there
Oh,
coffee. Oh, that's good. I
Nina.
want. I thought he was carrying.
I thought he was carrying the cat too. Coffee's good.
No, it's me. It's not
Look at
cat. It's me.
her.
Yeah.
He's just chilling. Hi, kitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, and also like because like every time I did so many attempts to start to make like finally I will make again my comics, and I see it is just like so heavy like on me, like I need to really story which like from beginning to end. I need to develop characters, and I
You
need
need to
to
learn
start.
writing.
Yeah, and I need to start to posting already because like me, like till recently, I have Instagram where I post every day. So I've been like doing like urban sketch every day or some illustration every
Yeah.
day, post every day, and then I say like, okay, now I do comic book. It's like, like one day no drawing, next day no drawing because I don't have story yet. And it's like, you need to do something, you need to do something. After 3 days, like, am I artist? I think I already forget how to draw. It's like expression grows.
That
And
pressure,
then
yeah.
Yeah.
it's as every
Analysis
time was
paralysis.
It is analysis.
so hard to switch, kind of like, and also like because like urban sketch, there I'm like a professional. I feel like I'm a master. I can go and like I already like I can draw whatever I want when I go to draw some urban sketch. And I will have like these comments, likes, and like I will know it's good. I'm sure. But then like with a comic book, I'm a beginner, and it's like it's like you have this like lack of confidence, lack of status, less dopamine, less this serotonin, I think. Yeah, so all
Yeah.
this like immediately became like so big pressure. So my YouTube is also like way how I can transition to drawing comic books because like this what I teach, also what I'm talking about is like you what you mentioned, it create a new normal, new default. Because like if before was like for beginner artists for or like amateur students, like for them just drawing like 3 hours is hard, but it should be easy. So your default should be like when you can draw like all day, and this should be normal because like as professional artist you will draw all day. So
That's your
it's
life.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's why it's like a good education for artists is at least to start to have this schedule like when you draw like all day 5 day, so you don't feel like overwhelmed, you get accustomed to it. So and then I see like okay, same stuff with all these specific aspects, like what I need in a drawing my comic book. I need like character development, I need to draw like them in the space, like I need to know how to like turn around them, to be confident with how they look from different angle, how clothing will look on them. Also I want to be able to draw props. So as much stuff I can figure out and make them feel comfortable for myself before I start the comic book, as much it will be easier for me to start the comic book because I like I will save energy and I will no need to make so many stuff at same time, like figure out so many things, like how to develop composition, how to draw people and stuff and stuff and stuff. So and also like I read a lot of these books about story. So kind of yeah, it's for me it's this transition, and I was thinking about every time before when I did my comic books, I did some long comic books. Like I have like about when I was already like a student in art college, I have comic book about like 50 pages, and I find out like in the process, I start to hate the stories. Like it's so stupid. I'd be like, I started as a children and now I'm grow up. No, kind of like,
Yeah.
I see it's like it's so
I was once
naive,
a
kind
child
of.
and now I'm an old man.
Yeah, like when I was like 16, right?
I
So,
noticed how much tastes can change through age.
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, like my tastes have completely changed. I mean, there's still things I'm really into, but other things I'm like, I'm not really into that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like my character, um, I was so into Marvel back then, and more like so into like this kind of like superhero like vibe, and
Mm,
my most of my designs were inspired by that. And now I'm just like, no, I just like grungy. I like something that's more real, that feels like you that this person can live in this world and not so super kind of whimsical or fantastical. And I feel like it's so interesting. It is really interesting how that happens. And like for you as well, like you always had similar interests. You know, I feel like you've always been interested in certain things for a long time, like
Yeah.
airships and childhood story and stuff like that. Um, I don't know if you want
so
to talk about that. You can.
yeah, so I start to like like I have a lot of like log lines, concepts for story, like what I can write about, like what is my next
Yeah.
comic book will be about, and I started kind of like develop it, make more like what will happen, who's characters, and say yes, good, like I think tomorrow I will start to draw it, right? I think it's something like now it looks like something decent. And tomorrow I look like, no, it's so stupid. Like, and then again, it's again. And I think like, okay, can I get to certain point of like certain position in my life, like when I have like really some like developed worldview. So I will know like I will not change my vision of a world, like in general, some general ideas, like what, not like almost like what is good, what is bad, like what is a great end for a story, let's say, right? Like which is like really like story worth watching or reading. So it's like it's really like amazing, great ending or like great subject. And just now I really start to get it. Like, and I was think maybe it's impossible, maybe some kind of like beginner delusion to try to develop certain like idealistic point of view. But now I figure out, yeah, it's kind of, some people get this earlier. They have like some firm worldview, like firm set of ideas. Like, let's say like James Cameron, like when he did his first Terminator, it was already concrete. Since then, it's same kind of stuff, again and again with a like different level of different depths. So when like I watch Avatar, I see like, oh my god, it's like he lost his mind. Is not Cameron, I know. But then
Yeah.
when I read like book about Terminator, like interview with James Cameron, like when he explained like concepts, like why he like really explain what this means, like all this metaphors, message. It's like, oh no, he always been like that. It always was like he's like anti-authorities, like this, like for example, like this T-1000 Terminator, he's a policeman for a reason, because this kind of thing like anti-power, anti-authority. He kind of like basically he's a hippie, James Cameron, and he have like you can find this insane. I was like, no way, it's exist. Do you know about like ending of Terminator 2? Like ending which
Ending
have
of
been
Terminator. Oh
cut,
yeah.
like where it's like
No, I don't.
Wait, what?
Cut ending.
yeah, cut ending, like when it was
There's a
like
cut ending.
yes. So when it's like ending of Terminator 2, there's like they're moving on the road, right? And there's some like a speak of Sarah Connor, like she talk about future. It's like now, yeah, it's like we're not sure what will happen, but now I have a strong feeling people like humanity will make it, right? Kind of this was ending, and it's it wasn't original ending. Original ending is different. An original ending he show future, and he show future where it's
Oh.
like uh with young John Connor, and they have like a playground. Ah, no, wait, not young children of John Connor, like a grandchildren. So have alive Sarah Connor, have John Connor without scar, and he have children. They running on a playground because it's playground from her dreams, right? In her dreams, like nuclear blast destroy playground. But here in this ending, she sit on playground. Everybody walking around with their like a shiny rainbow future clothing, and the children running.
Wow.
You can find it like ending of Terminator 2. So, and he cut it off in the last moment because he thinks kind of like it was so big contrast. Like like Terminator was like a kind of like a thriller, and there this ending make it some kind of, yeah, it's like too much shift in the vibe. So, and he just cut it off. And I saw like, oh my god, it's so great for humanity. He cut this ending. Because
It's so interesting. It's very interesting how that happens, and I feel like that's why one shots, like, well, kind of going back to comics and being like, should I really start this comic, or should I really do this? And is it not like fleshed out? Like, that's why I think one shots exist.
yeah.
Oh, well, hi, Kitty.
One shot, you mean like it's like a 10 page?
Yeah, like a
Hey. No.
like a short like a short comic that's just one short story to test a concept and test the feedback of, like, do people even like this idea? And then it's like, oh, this is just a test. Like, I feel like when we do a lot of our things, it's always like, it's just a test. I mean, our books, when we made our first book, it was originally going to be like this this ebook that was only going to be 40 pages long for our existing students, and it was going to be free.
And it was going to be included in a Udemy class.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Our first book was a free PDF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A free PDF. It was going to be a free PDF. And then and then it turned into the book, which was a total experiment. And
we didn't even have like this end goal of the book. We were just like, we just kept adding. Like, we started with the base concept, and then we were like, wait a second, I kind of want to add this in here too. And then it just became a full book. And that's how book 2 was also made, where like we had a better idea of the concept. But then we were like, oh, but I really want to add this, I really want to add that. And so everything just kind of kept building upon each other. And I feel like but the fact that we were also super passionate about that book, but I think just we're like, we have to add it. Yeah.
It's also a trap because you will never finish if you keep adding. So how do you how you manage to finish it? Yeah. When you decide you need to stop.
We also, well, actually, we planned it. At one point, we just went, let's just turn this into a book. And so we planned the book from beginning to end. I had a whiteboard that was behind my desk, and it had every chapter written out on the board. And we're just like, what do we want to include in this book? Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, like the table of contents. And it's like Christina and I sit down and discuss, like, what do we want in this book? Well, we want to teach how to draw, like, heads and faces. Well, we want some, like, plainer versions of heads, like an Asaro head or something type deal. And we want to make sure that we cover some color theory, and we want to make sure that we have anatomy where there's the front muscles and the back muscles of the torso, and legs and arms and stuff. And so we go through and we figure out exactly how long it could be, and we estimate the number of pages. We're like, I think it'll be around 140 pages. I think it'll be around whatever.
We'll try to cap it.
Yeah, because we actually want to do stuff, like, I'm a big fan of, like, finished, not perfect. It's like a project. Sorry, kitties. A project that
box.
Yeah, we actually have that.
You want to have the box?
Yeah, I should put the box on the desk, otherwise she's gonna knock over our monitors. Kitty, come on, go in the box. And finished, not perfect, right? Like, we actually wanted to make a book that was published. And we wanted to make some money off of it if an unpublished book doesn't earn anything. So...
Well, we also were like, we had to keep it a certain page count because if we had to make sure that we would make a profit with the print.
We didn't want the book to be so big that it gets so expensive for people to buy. We wanted to keep it within a certain... What's up?
I think our layouts...
Yeah, it's so small.
We're on the wrong one.
Like mini version of you.
Here we go.
Yeah, like a mini version.
Sorry. No, stay in your box. Yeah, we had to finish. Like, we knew we had to finish. That was non-negotiable.
But we also knew where we had to finish because, like, a lot of the time we structured our courses very much where, we'll start with the basics and then we'll gradually get more advanced in the book. So the first few sections of the books are always line drawing, something that feels, yes.
Yep, kitty cam.
Something that feels approachable for beginners.
Yeah.
Or just anyone that's, wanting to draw. And then later on, as we get more advanced and we're fleshing out a story and we're like, okay, well, here's these characters. Now let's see what the real the full body version looks like. There's like a natural progression in the book where it had to end at a certain point. And we decided that the ending of the book would be illustrations because it felt like a natural logistical way to progress the to progress the book. But I think like every chapter is its own little story arc. So in order to get from point A to point B, or from A to Z, we had to get from point A to point B, then point B to point C. So when we made the characters that we designed in the later parts of the book, we didn't even know that they were going to exist. We just made random characters in the first few chapters, and then we were like, what if we just gave them names? Like, they look interesting enough. I want to include them throughout.
Yep. Her.
Yeah.
Her name was going to be Sensei.
Yeah.
And it was just a random character that we designed to teach in the book.
And then she became a character.
Yep.
Well, I was even talking about like book 2, Simeon, the mafia characters. They were never supposed to be full-on characters. Like, we later on decide, wait a second, we need to have character design, so let's just give them names.
There you go.
And so,
yeah, I was thinking to add like characters.
So much more fun to make. What's that?
Oh, I was thinking to make character like in my motorcycle book. It's like some dude who will talk, but it's, maybe we'll add some kind of like
I'm going to these.
Oh, here they are.
How's this character?
So,
from Akira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So we designed 8 different characters for this book
that have different
vibes.
Show
up in the book in order to just teach different things.
Yeah.
So
nice.
So all of these were originally just supposed to be like one-off characters. They weren't supposed to. They were
random,
only just
no
they
names.
were supposed to be random. And then we were like, but these characters look so interesting. We might as well give them like some names. And then after we gave them the names, we're like, okay, well, they're characters now.
Yeah.
And then so it started off with heads because that was the first chapter.
There's that.
And this was made much later in the book process because we were like, well, we have to create this somehow to make it feel more immersive.
This story is basically, it's a fake story. And it's about him. His name's Kevin. I named him after my brother in order to make fun of him. And he's this crybaby who is the heir to a mafia empire. Like, his dad is like the mafia lord, the Yakuza
Underground,
boss. And he's like this little wimpy kid who doesn't realize that he's like the heir to this big empire. And so Victor is a bodyguard who's posing as the school janitor. And he's basically this really tough, cool guy who's very honorable and heroic. And he pretends to be the janitor. That's not. There it is.
Nope.
Here he is.
I seen.
So there he is.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So it's like a janitor samurai.
Yes.
Janitor samurai. Yeah.
And then she's the math teacher, and she's an assassin that's sent to take him out. And so she doesn't know that he is the boss. He is the heir. She just knows the heir is in the school. Victor is the
Oh.
only one who knows he's the heir, and he's sent to protect him. But then what ends up happening is her and him start to have feelings for each other. They start to like each other, even though they're enemies. And then Juliet is sent from the government, and she's posing as the principal. And then there's basically this love triangle between them as they're actually enemies, and it's like this whole story. But we actually just went on walks, like we went and hiked, and we just talk about it as we walk, and we're just like, what if we did this, what if we did that, because it's the only way to keep writing the book fun. It's like making a how to draw book is so dry, it's kind of not all that fun. So we're just like, how do we make it fun for the people who are reading the book, and also for us as we make the book, and it makes it memorable. Like, you can't, and again, if people pirate this book, the story's so embedded in the book that you can't separate it without destroying the book.
And then, to make matters more fun, we decided to make alternate versions.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, well, we can't just do realistic. We got to do some fantasy, because who doesn't like fantasy? Yeah. And so we basically made two stories featuring the same characters, but with similar.
Like an isekai type
so
deal.
Cool. Yeah, now I want to buy your book. Yeah.
Well, that's why we were like, thank you.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it.
And then so it's like this logical progression where, there's this guy.
I love this guy. This one's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little guy. Got his loot.
Yeah. And they all have these little quotes like, "Look who I found trying to steal my loot." And
great.
Like, "Oh, you're hurt? Let me fix that for you." It's like, it's just cute. And I think for us, like, our brand is all about cute. Like, we like this stuff. And so now, like, in the last chapter, we have all these character designs. Like, now we got to put them in illustrations because they're designed. And so after that, then it's like, oh, what's the next mini arc? Oops, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's this one.
Oh, yeah, there's
this
one.
So every single chapter has an illustration for the cover. And so, like, she is a brat, and she's a big bully, and she bullies him around in order to tell him what to do. So he's like, there's just this whole kind of story that's going on. And so...
he's a doormat,
Yeah.
And so poses. Yeah. And then illustration. So that's kind of like the progression that we decided to go with. Because that's kind of how we always did things, I guess.
Yeah. But we have to find ways to make what we do fun. So that's what we ended up doing. It was, and when we write a story, like a lot of our audience, they're just like, you guys need to write that story and make it a webcomic so we can read it.
Yeah, like this I hear, it's like, it sounds like it's already exists.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it doesn't. We haven't written the story. Like, we have ideas about it, like different episodes, different little things, but
it's very interesting. Like me, like I was like when, like in academia, it's like very dry, and they like teach students to be like comfortable with this, like very like hardcore, like this kind of hardcore dry work when we just like drawing, action, and the stuff kind of like fingers, noses, and
portraits, crazy stuff.
It's like. And then, like, part of this education is to learn from real life. So it's like, it's again became some kind of like a scientific research, like a journalism. Like, you walk around and you explore world, like you study properties, you study like kind of characteristics of spaces, events, and everything, right? So it's still like kind of like a best way to approach it, like how I think it's like some kind of like a documentary or journalism, when you can like depict some event or space or place to show like its nature, and you can make like afterwards, when you study real life, you can make like big oil painting when you show like typical situation or like certain like time in history in this place, some event, or just some like maybe it's like very daily thing, like just some like old lady walking with her cat, but this like you need to show it. It should be like iconic. It should be like a metaphor, symbol, and stuff like this. So it's like all this is so intensive and like dry, and like it doesn't creative in a way like a comic book artist doing stuff, you know, like when you're being like a
Yeah.
children, is like, yeah, let's do this here, or let's explode this stuff. Like, yeah, here's this
Yeah.
dude with a machine gun, like, wow. Yeah, and like,
One of
yeah, like,
I was gonna say one of the artists that really inspired me was James Gurney. Like he made the
mm,
Dinotopia, and it's all
yeah,
fun, and they're riding the dinosaurs and this. But he's like a really, really well trained artist. He's very, very high level. Like he makes these accurate illustrations for like magazine, scientific magazines and stuff, and
hmm
you know all these very academic art. But then he also just has fun, and he's like, what if there was a world with dinosaurs? And it's like I feel like he still retains that childlike excitement over making art,
yeah.
even as a master. And
No, it's just
I think
different
that's really
tradition.
interesting.
It's different
Yeah,
tradition. So it's like I tell you, it's like a Russian academia. In
yeah,
USA and America, it's like you have this like golden era of illustration when it was like all this like illustration works like nobody have in the world. It's just insane, like so amazing, like all this like realism and mixed with imagination, kind of, right? Like when you have
yeah.
like very powerful images, like it can be like a pirates, giants, I don't know, like this kind of my favorite stuff. Like, and yeah, and I think James Gurney, he kind of like um connected to this tradition of it's
Yeah.
like it's not academia like in Europe and in Russia.
Mhm.
It's American thing, this illustration old school. Yeah, and yeah, so I know what I want to say, because I was like always have comic books in mind, and then I was always think about like how to. I like idea of exploration, like to travel world and draw different places and like gather this like my life experience and observation experience. But then I start to think like, okay, I get already so much experience of such stuff. I can like I can make this connection like when very down to earth. Like I know what is the real street. I know what is real life, kind of, right? Like I real like I think I seen it enough, kind of like artists. Let's say like it keep doing it. It will not change much. I already kind of seen it. So, but when I will start to use it, like you turn a book, for example, you mix it with the stories, and when your characters is not just like some figures when you show proportions, but they actually have some backstory, and it's like it looks
Mhm.
so vivid, like it's like you are not trying to impose it, you're not trying to imitate it, but they're actually like a real manga and real anime there. It feels like it's already like famous, you know, and like I see like so it looks like it's already been like on the television, and you're just make book with these characters. And this is amazing. I was always think about like how can I achieve it? Like I want to make not just urban sketch or just illustration to show some
Mhm.
people like standing like that, you know, like ah.
Yeah.
Well, something that I think about is I always think I've watched anime my whole life. It's such a big passion for me, and my dream is one of my dreams is to have an anime. Like that's one of our dreams.
Yeah.
But we also just love watching anime, and we're so inspired by the some anime stories that we watch that we're like, oh my gosh, oh hi Kitty. Anytime that I make these characters, I'm imagining I'm imagining an episode in my head, like as if it was a real anime.
Mm,
And so rather than just thinking, oh, it's just an illustration, I'm thinking, no, this is going to be real one day. And I want it to feel like this kind of story. That's how I think. That's how we think about. This is how I think about our.
oh, mustache.
Like that's
Mhm.
how I think about our characters in our books, like our girl group. We think about them like 24/7. So These characters, this girl group, you can show it on.
Girl group.
You can show it
Interesting.
on the.
Oh yeah. Here it is.
So these characters right here, in our minds, they're real. Like we talk about them at the mall. Like we're like, oh, what we look at people that reminds us of these characters, and we'll be like, oh, is that a Miki girl? we'll look at a girl that dresses like her, and we'll be like, oh, there's a Miki right there.
Oh, we'll put her in that outfit.
We'll put her in that outfit, or like, oh, we'll see this character right here, and like, oh, that's Tira, and like, and then we'll think about like, oh, we see silly moments in shows, or we'll see silly moments in real life, and we'll be like, oh, would Miki and Tira do that? And then it will kind of play like an anime episode in our heads, like in my head at least. And so when I think of that, the energy is there, and I'm able to draw. I'm more able to have that vision or that drawing that I've always wanted. So what's up?
Yeah.
What you trying to show?
And it's the same with stream. Like all these characters
That's Abby,
that are
Colton's
always
character.
done on stream. Like it's always the same characters. Like there's Tira, and like these little stories, like this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And for us, it's all story. Like that's the only thing. Like I want to teach good drawing foundation, but if it doesn't have story in it, I get so bored. I just want to quit. Like I can't keep going. I have such a short attention span that it's kind of our solution. There's Naomi.
Yeah. And I like putting them in different situations. I'll just like doodle these scenarios. Let me try to find one. I think there was one specifically. Oh, Kitty, what are you doing?
She's being a pest.
She's being a bit of a pest today. I think she's kind of becoming back to normal after the kitten's here. So like, oh, Miki tripped and fell.
Yeah.
So I just drew her tripping and falling. And, taking those moments. I want to find the one where they eat together.
That one is cute.
Oh, this one. This one's good.
Yeah.
So this one is like, it started off with just this one drawing. This is Colton's character, Abby.
Yeah.
And then we were like, wait a second, we got to include the childhood friends, which involve Miki and Miko, our other two characters in the books. And we're like, okay, well, once I draw this character, where else can I put the other characters? Like, oh, I want to put Miko, like I'm also thinking about their personalities. So like Miko, so I think Miko's like, oh, she's friendly, but she's also like reserved. So she's always hiding behind someone, and so she's the stronger one and she's the softer one. Poppy's just running around, and this girl here is always the mischievous girl, so she's always in the back plotting something. And every kind of scene is like a potential story. Every character that I draw could potentially be a scene and overlapping the characters. So Colton, you can show a lot of these as well.
And so these two characters right here, I made an illustration of them as well, and I have this whole backstory for them and where they grew up and how they grew up and what they did as kids and the adventures that they got into.
Oh, it's not focusing.
Oh,
there it is. Never mind. It got.
And I'll do. And there they are again. That's another drawing that I did of them, and they're in a tree house together. And she's the scared one, and she's the one with the short attention span, and she's the one who's like taking charge. All right. Kitty, you're going on the ground. You're being a butt. This is what she did to my mom too.
Yeah, that is. Oh, this makes her funny.
Nice.
And it's
this
all,
one right
here. Oh
here.
and this one as well. This one's designed out. Like this was just a sketch I never finished, but we're developing their backstories and we're developing their backstories but we're using it to like get better at drawing because it's like I get so bored otherwise. I get so bored otherwise, and it's the only way I can kind of keep enjoying my art is if I create stories. And so I'll do a costume drawing class. I'll take a clothing drawing class or a costume drawing class, and every character I'll turn into like one of my characters. Or we'll do like a perspective class or an environment or background class, and every single drawing will turn into our story or the same story, part of that story.
So
and like this one right here was like, go ahead.
Here, creator have question like, did you make all coloring and is it digital?
Yep, these are all digital.
You both do colors, right? No, yeah.
Colors like, we both color. Yeah.
You mainly color in
I find that.
Oh, that was a question.
Oh. Oops, sorry.
Do you also do all the coloring for the art? And if so, was it digital?
Yes.
It's all digital.
And a lot of time we both do the coloring. Like Colton knows how to he knows the color theory. He knows how to paint.
Yeah. Oh, like this is a good example of like, this is like a costume study that
Nice.
Christina did,
Yeah.
and it's of some of the characters of ours.
Yeah, so I took
you know,
that.
you just take the head and make it your own character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they add another character behind reacting to it. Like action and reaction is so not I shouldn't say, it's one of the easiest things that you can do, because when you have two characters, there's a relationship.
Yeah.
Or you can have a character that's just looking at you, and that's the relationship.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be like this super philosophical thing. Although I think philosophical art is actually really cool.
Yeah.
In fact, I would like my art to be like very deep and really cool. These are more like silly, and so I'm just like, well, I'm not taking it too seriously. So maybe it's like, maybe the fear could be, maybe you're taking it too seriously with some stories, and maybe it's like, let's just see how it goes. Like that's how I like to think of stories, is I'm not going to take it seriously unless I really think it's necessary to.
Oh, no,
And then
for me, like
if it gets more serious, yeah.
You have actual like situations. For me, it's already very serious. Like I take it too serious, I think.
Yeah.
So that's serious for you, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I just kind of see everything as an experiment. Everything's like a test.
Yeah.
There's like everything is like experimental.
Oh,
One thing
yeah,
that I
those
have a
are
lot of
some
trouble with is finishing art. Oh, I don't want you going up there.
Mhm.
Go into your box.
Do you like here you show this with a costume, like when you change head to your character, right? So it's kind of like smart use of reference, right? So it's like, don't be ashamed and of use photo reference or like borrowing stuff. And I also interesting, like I was not so long ago, I discovered about like how manga artists they use this like book collections of different angle reference.
Oh, yeah, I actually have some of those. I'll grab
And
one.
it's like,
Guess Kitty taking
before
over
I
your
think
iPad.
like, it's like for beginners. And recently I realized like, no, it's not for beginners. You really need to use the stuff. It's so useful, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think I scared her out.
So what book did that remind you of?
The Japanese books that we bought.
Oh yes, that's right. The poses, yeah.
Yeah, I bought some like
man.
digitally, like a Kindle on Amazon. Like they have like so
focusing.
many cool like angles and stuff, and like
Yeah.
Yeah, like we got some of these. These are these Japanese books. Oh yeah, like that one.
yeah,
they're so
yeah. I seen it
fun.
too. Hmm.
Well, like it's basically very similar to what you were saying, where like I would struggle with drawing scenes, but you're like, no, you could just take the perspective of your favorite composition, and then you just turn it into your own. Like that's basically what I do with characters.
Yeah, like
Is
you
I'll
do
like
with
turn them
characters.
into, yeah.
Yeah. And you can either study them or you can use them as reference, you can rotate them. But when you have foundation, when you know anatomy and perspective and the camera lens, you could always just take it and just like, you could go, oh, I really like this, but I want to turn this girl's head maybe so she's looking towards the camera. And then I want to take this girl and I want to rotate her ever so slightly. Like you're not just bound by the reference. It's like a tool to help you, but it doesn't trap you at all.
Yeah, well, like if I were to turn this into Abby and Miko, maybe Abby would turn her head just a little bit so she can see her to make sure that she's okay, and then she would look back to the camera and be like, oh,
Yeah.
you know.
And maybe she's like a little bit less stable and like she could be like off
Like,
balance, just slightly off balance.
I mean, I could draw that.
Yeah.
I
So
love
it's
these
like
books. They're really nice.
yeah. So when you're doing this, like just slight adjustments, it's became so much your own work. And this kind of thing, which I wish somebody explained me earlier too. Like I figured it out only recently. It's like, yeah, I mean, you have all these references. They just everybody use them. Like if talking about like European, like how to say classical artists, they just have so much money. They've been in white models. They make photographs of them, or they can just model just standing like this all day. So yeah, everybody use reference.
Yeah. I find that my problem could be where I have a specific visual library of specific anime type poses in my head. That's basically all I draw a lot of time because that's my comfort zone. So anything else that I want to, like any other kind of poses that I want to draw, it's like I have to do a lot more research. But
This
yeah,
book,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
this book,
Mm.
and one of the
And
things
this,
in this book.
somebody
What's that?
asked like, what is name of this book? Yeah, there is a
oh, I
name.
This
don't
one right
know. It's
here?
all in Japanese.
I don't know, but you can take a screenshot of it.
You can find it
Yeah,
by
it's look like
looking for the cover.
it's look like Predator language from movie Predator 2.
Oh, really? Predator.
Predator, yeah.
Here, like here's a great example.
Yeah.
James Gurney's doing
Yeah,
like
yeah,
mirror
yeah.
studies. Like he studies himself wearing an outfit in the mirror in preparation to making an artwork. One thing that I didn't realize is artists will spend like hundreds of hours in preparation for a single illustration.
Yeah.
And I feel like in this day and age, a lot of, especially with digital art, like a lot of artists will be like drawing things so quickly, so fast. Like they'll just be like, if I don't get the drawing done in 2 hours, like that's it. But like so many artists will spend just hours and hours and hours researching and taking references, and like this to me is so cool. Like taking
Yeah.
reference pictures for an illustration. Like
So
it's
cute.
so cute. It's so
I feel like that's so Miki Abby and
Yeah.
the childhood story. See, like we're talking about it again, where like we'll talk about the
Yeah.
stories, like, oh, that's a,
yeah.
you know, it's like being
And there's that one
passionate
there.
about characters and
You know, you got that, and then
Yeah,
in
that's so
preparation
cool.
for that, and he'll make all these little clay models. And like the cool thing
Yeah.
is he's artistic about the reference as well. It's not just a reference to help him draw. He's also creating and having fun as he makes stuff like this.
he even
So
lights
the
it
whole
so
process, it's almost like the artwork is like mixed media, where it's like he
Yeah.
made the references out of plaster and then he used color lights to light it. And I find it so fun and interesting. And as you know, someone who's self-employed and works at home, I need to make myself get out more. So like sketching on because I'll just be home without leaving the house for like a week or 2 weeks, and I'll just be at home in my room for 2 weeks straight without even leaving the house, and I'll get really depressed.
This is so
Yeah.
breathtaking.
So like going and
Yeah,
sketching
it's amazing.
on location and stuff.
So it's like
Yeah.
here, like bottom line kind of for all of this is like when you think about final quality, you need to have reference for this quality. Like if you want like highly realistic work, you need to realistic reference. Like for example, like he have clay models of faces, so he can figure out lighting, right? Like exact shadow, what will happen. Because his final work is like Norman Rockwell kind of realism level, right?
Yeah.
So you need to have
Mhm.
like photographs, or you need to have some models, sculptures to make sure like what happened with the lighting. And I see like how artists who work with this kind of realistic level, they can make like 3D model of full composition, and they like place light in the space, so they can really see like how cast shadow behave, like everything. Yeah.
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 I find that I need to do more of that because it's kind of like required in a way. Like if you really want it to turn out well, it's like you basically have to give yourself the tools to make it so that it's successful.
Yeah. That's
Well, like even with like manga, they'll take pictures of the exact references they need and they just draw it and then they put the character in the scene. Like I've seen
Yeah.
like yeah, it's like all that reference. And I mean, I find that for you, like if you when you're doing your comic, I'd be like, man, you're so lucky. Like you, not lucky, like you worked really hard and stuff. It's like you have all this visual library of what urban cities look like. That it's like it's literally perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just like you don't even need to like do so much research. You already know what your world is gonna look like. Like for me, I struggle with that. Like that's the hardest thing for me. Like I don't have that experience, so it's like, you know.
No,
But
no,
with Colton,
not
like
much.
he's doing both things.
No, for me it's important. It's just like I have like I say connection to real experience of real environment. because like I've been like when you're tourist, when you just walk around, you go like different country, different places, you go like central street, and then you go very small narrow alleys, you go to people's houses, you go to restaurants, like you go to different type of environments, right? It's like it's became your also like your reference, your material for your future creations. But then if you draw them, you get much deeper, because it's like you really build more like connection and more emotional experience of these places. Like I've been, for example, like I've been in Shanghai, like I draw two picture every day, like on a different place, and they're like totally different, absolutely different. And like I was drawing on a market, like fish market, and I still like smells so bad. And like I see all this like woman like cut fish heads, like like
Oh
and
my
this like
gosh, that's hardcore.
yes, so hardcore, so insane. Like I never seen anything like this. And I stand in there drawing for 2 hours, and I like after about like 1 hour, yeah, about after 1 hour of drawing there, I kind of blend in, and it feels like they seen me there every day. They already forget I'm a foreigner or something. It's like, okay, this guy he just standing here drawing, and for me
Yeah.
it was like I
You become part
already
of the scenery.
yeah, and for me it was I start to get this feeling like I've been there like every day, like it's a part of my life. But I'm here like I first time in China, I first time in this place. I never seen anything like this. But now like I was like observing it. I was like being part of this place. For my brain, it's already so like yeah, it's kind of I know this stuff. I know these people. I get
I would
this
love to see a story like that. Like
level of
imagine a
connection.
character.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like, and just hearing that, it's like that's a story. Like that's you
Mm.
can take that experience and be like, oh, my character is going to feel that moment.
Yeah.
Like I want people to feel what I felt. So that like
Mm.
your experience could be part of your character that you make for your story, and you could be like, and you because you know it, you know that feeling, and you could try to artistically, push that into your comic.
Yeah.
Like for me, like if I were to look at that, if I were in Shanghai and I looked at that fish lady that was like roughly chopping those fish heads, I'd be like, oh, that's a character.
Yeah.
Like I want that.
Yeah.
I want that scene, and I want that in a book somewhere. And so that's how we think. At least that's how I
Yeah.
think. And I think you think that way very similarly too.
Yeah. It makes me think of a story like The Last Urban Sketch Artist, and it's like the last artist who goes and draws on location in a cyberpunk dystopian future.
Yeah. Oh, it's like a mission to like record this moment in history or something.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, that's so cool.
I don't know. I would.
The last urban sketch.
I think the type of sketching and drawing and stuff that you do is really, really cool, and it has inspired me to start sketching. We've been bringing sketchbooks everywhere we go now. I never would do that really before, and we go and we draw. We were drawing in a Starbucks nearby, and then we went and sketched in a restaurant nearby. I posted some of those in the in your Discord server.
Ah,
the
yeah,
one
yeah,
in the improvement, and those were like the first ones that I ever did. I just take them out first, like kind of sketchbook drawing. Most of the work that I do is digital, and so getting back in traditional has been really fun and enjoyable, and just a really good time.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like when you just need to adjust for material
Yeah.
like properties and also limitations, because like for me it's yeah I can feel like these limitations of working digitally. It's kind of lack of matter, kind of like I cannot feel it, it's like for me it's serious limitation. And when you work with
Yeah.
traditional stuff and when you work outdoors, there is limitations. It's like you have only one thickness, you choose this like material, okay, then you cannot go more detailed than you able with this line. Then you cannot
Yeah.
control Z. And when you work outdoors, especially when you draw real life, yeah, you need to learn uh, how to accept your abilities. Like when you cannot just draw everything as you see, it's impossible. You will always see more than you can draw.
Oh, that's a really good point.
Yeah, and you will draw better, and what is important is like when you start to draw better, when you get more experience, you get better eye, and you have like more like complicated, more nuanced structure in your head, like what you are looking at, right? Like you can look at this like as 5 point perspective grid, or you're looking for different patterns, right? Like so you have different, more advanced model in your head, like what actually you look at and what actually you want to draw. So more developed and more um, interested your vision became, and you always will dragging kind of behind it. You will always not good enough to draw. Like it's easier to improve your vision than improve your drawing skills. So
That's
and
definitely true. Yeah.
and this is what I also, what is great about drawing real life. You eventually in one moment you get this feeling like it's amazing, because you witness some kind of like endless reference. Is this is like an open space? It's like well without bottom, right? Because you see, like as artist you can like me, like whatever I say, like okay, I'm look here, I can draw it all my life. It's like I can look for shadows, I can look for perspective, I can draw like so many different way in perspective, just this freaking random corner. This is what
Yeah.
is artist's brain about, right? You will
Yeah.
you cannot be bored with real life material. It's like a miracle. So
Wow. That's cool.
yeah, and this is kind of like this a discover kind of what I get is like at first you struggle, at first you feel like uh, pain from this gap, like oh, I still cannot able to draw what I want, what I see, right? And then you see like wait a second, like it's it's physically impossible. It's just impossible. You cannot capture, you cannot like grasp this like endless universe, all this like complexity, and you being like lucky just to notice this fact and to be able to kind of I don't know, like a drift in it, or like when you're just like wow, look at that, it's insane. And then you say like okay, I have now this ability, I can draw this kind of picture from this what I see, I will take this part and I will put it in an art form. So you develop this like more like a realistic vision of what you can do, and you develop this like a sequence, like technique, pipeline, like how you actually will do it. So like when I draw, for example, like interior of a cafe, yeah, maybe like I want to focus on the people portraits, right? So like, oh, I want to draw them look like my friends, because afterwards maybe I will gift it to friends, and then I will draw environment around my friends. So making more mistakes with environment will be fine in this scenario, because like I more spend my resources for make sure like their people look realistic. So it's like in a short time, in this all this concentrated effort, when you're like really like, oh, I need to draw, you just manage what is your priority. And when I focus on environment, and then I will draw people just as support of environment. So people will become maybe more just like kind of like interface which make viewer connect to this space. So we can identify with this character inside the environment, like sit on a chair or walk on this ground inside picture, right? Like feel like you start to feel like a scale of a space when there is a people inside. This kind of very
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. So
It is interesting.
and this is like very much like what to say, it's very different from drawing from imagination and something like a poetry. Oh yeah, like a poetry, I think.
Hmm. I like to think of drawing stories like looking into a dollhouse. I love dollhouses. I played with them, and anytime that I see like a little miniature house or a miniature room, I'm like, what are they doing in there?
Yeah.
I would imagine like, oh, like maybe this lady's cooking in there, and I'm like, and it's like watching, it's like people watching, but like from a larger,
Yeah.
yeah,
Drawing
Interesting.
characters is
Yeah.
like people watching.
yeah.
Like imagine make a little story. It's all about story.
It is
There's a book that you might like. It's called The Science of Storytelling.
Mm.
And it talks a bit about like the neuroscience behind how people's brains work, and it's all about story. It's like everything in the brain, like the brain is like a story processing machine rather than like a logic processing machine.
Yeah.
And so it talks about people will make stories out of anything. Like the example that he gave in the book was like if you say the word banana and then the word vomit, like people's brains will go, okay, maybe the person is allergic to bananas and it made them throw up, and like they'll start interconnecting these different things together.
Yeah.
And what we were talking about on stream yesterday is that like everybody's got these little stories in their heads. Everybody's got these things like that are already they're based on their past experiences, based on their beliefs, based on what they're interested in, and people automatically inject story into stuff even if you didn't intend for stories. Someone in the chat was saying, oh, what were they saying the other day? They were just like, oh, like I said, there was a cat in the neighborhood. It was a boy cat, and they thought it was a girl cat, so they named the cat Lola. And then someone in our chat goes, oh my gosh, my dog's name is Lola. And that's a perfect example, which is like you say something or you draw something, and your viewer, when they look at it, they're automatically going to place themselves into the artwork. And what do I think about it? Oh, that big building. Man, I remember when I lived in a big building. Or, oh, I visited, my dad worked in this really tall building, and I would visit him sometimes at work and take cupcakes to him and his, you know what I mean? It's like there's all these little stories that are going on.
Well,
And
it's like
so-
the image makes someone remember.
Yeah. And I think that's really interesting. Social media is a lot like that. It's like, you know how Bob Ross would always say like happy accidents? Like when he's doing a painting, he makes a mistake, but it's not a mistake, it becomes part of the painting. It's like a happy accident is an opportunity for like another person to see a story, to see something that makes them feel something. And it's funny because you could literally just draw something for no reason, you weren't even really thinking about it, and other people will look at it and go, oh, that's so deep. Deep. It's like, no, you're the one who's deep. Like, you're looking at this and you feel something deeply, but it's really like this story in here that is like getting deep about it. And I think that's really interesting as well.
Wait,
no.
Cat.
Kitty.
Oh, Nina, hello.
Cute.
Oh, she's licking you. How cute. That reminds me of Poppy for some reason.
That's funny.
She must be a very sweet kitty. Oh, look at her.
Yeah, she's like very friendly, very communicative.
That's fun.
Does she meow a lot?
Yeah. Sometimes like a very loud, like, meow.
Our new kitty, Toby.
Oh, he's biting you.
Oh,
Oh no. Cat dad. Love that. Love it.
See, in my brain, I immediately go, "Oh my gosh, what if Miki and Miko had a cat that would be like and bite them?"
Yeah.
Like everything I see, I just want to turn into a story. I think it's fun.
I also like this thing, like you say, everything here it's two moments. Like one is there is a book called Man Who Mistake His Wife for a Hat.
I heard of that book.
Yeah.
I haven't
So
read
I
it.
never heard of that book.
It's a story from a psychiatrist or like a brain. I'm not, or he was like neurobiologist. So he writes stories from his some of his patients. So there was like one guy who, because some alcoholism, he get like brain injury, and this brain injury, like every 7 minutes, like all memory is wiped out. So, and he kind of like, it happened with him like 20 year ago, or like or even like 40 year ago. Like, so he was even like different age. He was like let's say like 25-year-old or something like that. So everything happened after this age. He cannot remember, so he always keeps thinking he's still living in this time. He is same this age. So because it's like keep rebooting every 5 minutes. So and
Oh my
he like
gosh.
write how it happened in real time. Like when he walk inside his office, like a patient, he open door, go inside, and he talk with this doctor. He talk with him like he is somebody. Like and this doctor, he's like who he's talking to. Like, so his brain already creates some story. Like he went into like market, and here is like a butcher, so he talking with the butcher. So like, no, I'm not a butcher. And he's like, really? Like immediately he say like he can notice like how's like in a like how to say fracture of a second his brain create a new story, like say like yeah, of course, I'm kind of like talking with my uncle or something like this. Like, so he says it was amazing, like for him to discover like how quickly brain will feel emptiness. Like our brain, he very uncomfortable with unknown. We cannot bear
Wow.
unknown. We always need to know what happened, and like even if it's totally made up, it should make like some sense. You need, like, right here, you came from somewhere here, and this is it should be some like logical stage within some storyline, right? Like this is crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And in the book that I was talking about, The Science of Storytelling, it's basically talking about how to make believable characters in a story. Like if you're a writer, and it's just like, yeah, your brain fills in gaps. It always makes something up to fill in these gaps of like what you don't know, right? Like you see the sleeve of someone's shirt popping out from behind like a corner of a building, and you're just like, oh, there's a person back there. And like your brain kind of fills in this information. Like it could just be a coat hanging up and nobody's there, but people will be like, oh, that's a person. Or you know, it's very, very interesting how it works. That actually does sound like a really good book. The man, I've heard of it before. The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. That was it.
Yeah, kind of this.
Yeah, I should read that. Do you want to write that down for me?
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like it's just like what is about like how our brain works. It's insane. It's just like whoa, like you never think about. So it's something like this. And other I like about this stuff, it's when you study all these archetypes and narratives. There's like this like how's it called, like kind of like narrative science. I forgot, narratology. I think it calls. So it's kind of about like nothing is new under the sun, right? So it's like there is all the stories. It's a story which keeping like being like retold, and then you look like, yeah, and it means all the stories I tell myself about all I see around and about who I am and what happened with me, it's also this kind of stories from this big library. So it's very interesting to see that you are not different from a fictional character, because all fictional and non-fictional characters, all of us, we are utilizing same library of stories, same narratives. Like, when you are like a hero, or you're some kind of like archetype, like, oh, I'm a achiever, or like I'm an artist, and they're like, okay, well, how you see yourself as artist, like what is your storyline, what is your arc, right? Like, oh, I'm kind of here on this stage, like, and I'm walking towards my career goal or my dream or something, and like, wow. So it feels so interesting. It's like make me feel like almost like a robot. It's like we all just kind of this Pinocchios, who playing this like roles on a stage.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That could be
Yeah.
quoted.
Because
Our little Pinocchios.
this guy, I believe these guys who like did Pinocchio, like I can research more about this, but who write original Pinocchio, and definitely guys in the Disney who did this cartoon, this is actual subject, I believe, about the story. It's just like, look, like when you ask yourself like who you are, right? Like I'm definitely not some kind of set of papers, right? Some kind of maybe some set of characteristics, like, oh, look, his visual characteristics, right? I'm not just data kind of, or product of my story, like my history, right? Like my environment and what my
You're not just like the sum of your experiences or something.
yes. So like you keep looking like, I'm not this, I'm not that, like everything can define me, everything what can define you. You actually say like, no, none of this is actually me. And because all of it it's kind of constructs, right? It's some kind of like coincidences, or like made up stuff, like yeah, well, I mean, like you create a company, you create some jobs, and then you place people on these jobs, right? It's not like who they are. They never been like that. Now these people, right? You just made them to be like this. So, and you kind of keep searching like who you are, and eventually it just became about like, okay, am I human? It's
Yeah.
like, is there
The rabbit hole goes
anything
deep.
like, is there anything like
great.
I'm actually like making decision, like am I actually making decision, like where's my freedom, where's my soul? And so and this is became about this like essential question. So, and they have characters, this Pinocchio, who's yeah, like he move like everybody move, he can conversation, he can act, uh, but what make him different? What is difference between puppet and a human? This is kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Is this what you're
And
going to write about in your comic?
no, I mean, this is what is Pinocchio about. Like, and do you remember like when
Yeah.
he became human in the story? What
No, but
made
what I
him
mean
Yeah.
human?
is,
Yeah,
Is
what
this
he,
going to
my
be the topic of a comic that you write someday?
yeah,
These
no, I mean,
this
for
question.
sure it will be, I will reflect it. But I mean, like, interesting. Like, do you remember like what made Pinocchio to become human? Remember, he was like a puppet, but then he became human. What happened? Like, what made him
didn't
a
the
human?
didn't that fairy make him human or something? I don't exactly remember the story. I don't think it.
Remember what did make him human?
Yeah, what made him human?
Because it's all kind of interesting. 'Cause, there is like all this like talk about like this Sapolsky, I think he talking about like we like brain control us, we don't have freedom of choice, all this stuff, right? So okay, so what is difference? Why we are not robots, right? Like what made us human? Like what is different between like robot, like you make right now like some robot, you put all these algorithms, you drop in him all this big data, like all these archetypes and stories, and he just like, but we know it's a robot. It's just like you write in him, and he just doing what you write in him, and we have
Reminds me
all
of
this
that
stuff.
game.
So what
Detroit Become
is
Human? It's kind of had that vibe.
yeah, it's again, it's Pinocchio story. Detroit became human. It's a Pinocchio.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
and so this, because it's a question about fate and about like eventually is something like, is there is a God and do we have soul or not? Because when if there is God, then you have soul. If you have soul, then there is a God, because this soul is this like how to say, like okay, that's like an office, like a representative, like we're being somehow like representative of a God essence, like this kind of like our what make us
It's like the
human.
made in God's image type thing. Like
Yeah,
you're yeah.
So it's like, let's say there is a country, and there is like in the other country we have office, which is like represent this country, which is outdoor, right? Like how, I forget how this word is called for office, which represent as
Ambassador.
Ambassador. Oh, that's a good
kind of,
one.
yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
so, and Pinocchio, like he became human when he sacrificed himself for others. So he, like when
Oh.
he put somebody like somebody became so important for him, so he say like, okay, my need is not so important, like I can die to make sure somebody like who I love will survive or will be good, kind of. So this, because before Disney was Christian, you know, and so, and their stories make
Oh, yeah.
sense before their story have sense.
They had more of like a religious kind of like undertone to it.
It's interesting. It's like these fundamental questions.
I like those kind of stories. They make me think.
They
Like
do make me think.
those stories is like, I think is what makes a story become a classic.
Yeah.
And
Because
it's not just like preachy weird stuff. It's like, no, this is like actual stuff that you can think about for a long time. It's like it builds your character.
Because what is classic? Classic is based on idea of tradition. So it should be certain image. Like you should to have image of what is greatness. And if you reject greatness, if you reject authority, if you reject like quality, like then of course it will not make sense. You reject sense in general. So, and this is like,
I find a lot of
yeah.
I find a lot of like I actually find a lot of Miyazaki's movies don't make a lot of sense to me.
I agree.
I love Miyazaki's movies.
There's only
There's
like
a couple of them that I'm just like,
I'm like, where is this going?
huh?
No,
like,
That was awesome.
no, he from different tradition. He just
Yeah,
different
different
tradition.
It's very
tradition, so
interesting.
Yeah.
it's very Japanese to kind
Yeah.
of very Asian to have this kind of like elusive thing where it's like it just happens and it's just there.
I love it.
I do like
I
it
love
too.
that. I love
Yeah.
that there's so many
It's interesting.
different things. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like also like if you, I think this Mononoke, like I watched recently this video about Japanese culture, and Mononoke is, it's basically just like a folk. It's a folk tale. So they have a lot of ancient like, or I don't know like even how to call it, ancient or not. It's some, you know, some folk is very new. It's not actual folk. This kind of thing, you know, it's usually folk, it's a fake, right? But we need it when it's like, yeah, it's a folk, yeah, and then look, it's been made in the 1980s, for example.
Quite recent.
So
Folk tales and stuff.
Miyazaki is something like this, and he talking about this Japanese culture of this religion Shinto, like how they believe in the spirits. They have all these temples everywhere, and so this actual Japanese tradition, like as far as how they remember it and how they interpret it right now, and he kind of just he wants to make it solid, kind of share it with generation to say like, look, this is our culture, and he kind of like also like make a certain constantly he comments that we should like he fighting with the influence of other cultures, like have all these like Western characters when he like partially he admire this like European architecture and all this stuff, right? But in same time he kind of his stories about we should reject influence of other traditions because like we are killing our own gods like yeah, you should watch Mononoke. I don't want to spoil for it.
Yeah.
That's
we were
interesting.
we watched Akira, and now our
Mhm.
next movie on our list is Mononoke. I'm
Yep.
super excited about
I'm
it.
very excited about that too.
Next time we talk, we'll probably have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Great.
Very deep subject. I like it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
I feel like art is a good way to express this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I always like stories with a purpose. Now that's just more like my personal like opinion because I find out it's like the purpose part. There's thought put into that purpose. Like there's like an idea that you can actually follow and be like, oh, so that's someone's point of view, or so that's what someone is thinking about and how they view their life. If it's for me personally, if it's more ambiguous, I have a harder time relating to it.
Yeah.
But not that I don't like it or anything. I do enjoy it. Like I really enjoyed Howl's Moving Castle. Like I did enjoy it, even though I didn't fully understand it. It was
Yeah.
still good.
I like things that give you something to chew on.
Yeah, give
You
me something
think
to
about
chew on.
it. It's
like a
like,
dog, like a dog
I
one.
don't know what would I do in that situation.
Like morals and stuff like that. Always fun. That's kind of how like we like our stories as well.
Yeah, and I think
up?
like actually like when you think about what is happen, what is the storyline, it's the best when it's something what happened with you right now.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Like some kind of
Is that your comic?
yeah, some one of comic. It's like
I can't wait to talk about it.
so embarrassing.
Blast
Yeah.
it, like
It's
it's
so
not embarrassing. It's wonderful.
You showed our old Udemy video earlier. We deserve to see this.
okay, yeah. So which actually was fine. I don't know what you was nervous. I think it was fine video.
This
one,
as
it's
well.
like I've been like submitting for like how's it called award for webtoon. So then I first I draw it on the paper, but after I changed it for webtoon, and it was funny. Like I have no idea what to draw. It's like I don't know. So I start to draw myself, like complaining about like I don't know what to draw, and like I have here character from comic book which I'm talking to, and say like, hey, like I don't know what to draw. I need to draw comic for webtoon. And it's like, okay, I will help you. Let's just start to draw something. Okay, yes, I will do it. And I just start to kind of like a stream of conscious stuff. Like something like also.
You say you struggle with comics. I don't. This is great.
Like a never-ending
you're maybe
story.
too hard on yourself.
Yeah, like everybody, right?
Is this where you lived in Hong Kong?
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I was actually in Hong Kong and live in a room without windows.
Oh,
So
the
here
room
is
without
like
windows.
it's like this autobiographies. Like when you think is like it's based on his story. No, somehow, but yeah.
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
Yeah, somewhat.
great.
Yeah.
What's the next page?
So here, like I'm saying, like, oh, I will draw like guys fighting, kind of, right? So they're like fighting,
Whoa.
like
Oh my
MMA.
gosh, that's amazing.
Oh my gosh, that guy's getting this
What the heck?
clock.
Hold on. No way I
So
can
this
win
guy,
this.
like, I'm done. Like, I don't know how can I win. And like, okay, I need to.
That's
So
so
I now
cool.
like I have character inside my comic book who also struggle. It's like I don't know how can I win. And here's
Yeah.
like other guy like trying to punch him. So
That's
he's
great.
like,
Wow. Very dynamic.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
so they're like fighting, but I feel like all this time I feel like, oh my god, it's so bad. Like I don't know what I'm doing. And then I was saying like, okay, I will draw again back to character like me. It's like, it's like, yeah, something happened, but is no meaning. Like I don't have any reason. Like why is they fighting? Like who's these guys? And it's like I need a comic book for webtoon contest, but all I draw is such like trash nonsense. And it's like you're like struggles.
Oh no.
Well, oh my god. Well, it's like when I'm looking at the story, it's like it's the story of every writer. Like that's
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what I mean. Like it's like is what is eventually make it really interesting story just because I in real time I draw what I feel. It's just like it's
Yeah,
actual
oh my
story.
gosh.
It's like it's my story, right? So and this guy like say start to talk with the author, right? So like, come on, what's this problem? Like, so yeah, I don't see what's this problem. And he start talk to them like, it's conflict. Like, I don't see any context. Like, it's a pointless conflict. And they go here was some like in the Russian language. I would just make some break and then on continuing Rush like why is no good, I want it to be better, and
What is
like
that? Oh no. That's great.
Oh
They're
my
looking out
gosh.
of the page.
yeah,
Oh, that's so
Oh,
interesting.
look behind you.
What?
so here's like
So
like
cool.
Denial.
behind like what look
Oh my
behind
God.
like like
Wow. See, like, this is a great blend of like manga and also that American European comic vibe.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
It's really good. What are you talking about?
so here I
Oh,
have
that's
some
great. Oh wow, there's
breaks.
more.
And then
Oh,
it's
that's
like
great.
oh,
Oh.
so
Oh
this
my
is
gosh.
resistance.
Oh,
Yeah, like
no.
now he's a resistance.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and this
Yeah. I've never seen this at all. Wow. Oh no.
You killed a character. Oh my god, what the characters are
you kill our creator.
That's sick.
That's so cool. Oh, he's coming out of the page.
So fools.
Wow.
No one can beat me.
That's good.
That's good. Is
You
there
need
more?
you should make like a video showing this. You go through
Yeah.
and read it, read by the author.
Yeah.
Bam, bam.
Oh my
Read by
gosh.
author.
The composition's already so good.
Yeah, these
So-
are nice.
These are so good. It's like you're at this point you are a comic artist. Oh no.
Not the X's, his
I
eyes.
know.
Oh no. He is strong. Never give
Never
up
give
on the
up.
teamwork. So
Yeah, there's-
inspiring. Look
Oh.
at them.
Oh my gosh, teamwork. They were
Oh,
enemies and now they're
double
like,
kick. That's
Take
good.
that.
These shots, yeah, very nice stuff.
Oh my gosh, what? Did you
Uh,
did you ever post this?
Did you
Yeah,
put
it
the
was
game
on
Yeah,
up?
put this
Webtoon.
up.
Yeah, it
And
was
what
on
did it
Webtoon.
what happened?
Oh, wow.
Like, our creator is dead. What we will do now? So, no worry, I have an idea. So there's like broken studio. He take
Oh, is he gonna
But-
try to draw?
like, what are you trying to do? So it's like, today I'm unusually inspired. It's like flow
Flow
state. It's like characters drawing themselves. It's like, wait a second. It's like, you cheater. You see, so it's like kind of here we need to go back and see how it started. So in beginning, this bald guy, he was losing. But now he draw comic book where he draw creator drawing them. And creator drawing them and bald guy is winning.
That's goofy.
That's good.
I love that.
That's like 4-dimensional comic.
4D
Yeah, it's
chess
like-
comic.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's kind of like a
cheater.
break 4-dimension wall.
Yeah. Breaking the fifth wall with this one.
Breaking the fifth wall.
Going
that's-
out of the fourth wall and then back in. That's
Oh my
cool.
gosh.
So,
what
and
the
I have this
heck?
kind of like, I mean, one of this stuff when I just draw,
Well, you have like a bunch of sketchbooks.
like
Ooh.
for
This?
myself.
Literally
So,
what high school sketchbooks
Oh,
should have
that's
been
fun.
like. Back
yeah.
in, this is what every sketchbook should look like. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So and here, like I
Wow.
was just like talking with a comic book and like characters talking with me, and I just trying
Yeah.
to draw, like, you know, I want to feel substance of comic book. Like, you know, it should be not just like mechanical thing, like, oh, I draw what everybody draw, so like everybody draw Muscle Man, I will draw Muscle Man if I want to make cool comic, right? No, I want to
Mhm.
actually feel and know why I'm doing it and what is, you know, like when I draw outdoors, I have a real thing in front of me, so I can connect to it. I say like, okay, here is like source of information. This is data, and I kind of turning this into my art. But what to do when it's like your imagination? Where is source? And then I start to kind of exploring it, and I start exploring it like through like streaming, how's it called? Streaming of brain, right? I've heard
Stream of consciousness.
stream of consciousness. Yeah, so it's like it's just, you know, like I just like open it like a water and just like whatever go out from my head, I want to see what it is. Like I want to see is there is inside me some kind of source which like um streaming like certain flow, right? So this like something came from inside of me, and I want to let it be and see how I can express this spark kind of, or this kind of like, because you know it's like inward and outward reality. Like when I draw outdoors, it's something real outdoors, outside of me. But if I kind of sleep, or I close my eyes, or I just like feel something, it's this kind of also real world, but it's came from inside.
Mhm.
And I call it, I have like earlier, like it's more weird. I think it's one. I call it endless inner space.
Wow.
So it's like it's really like we are having this space outdoors, like when you can fly somewhere and there will be like other solar systems, stuff like this. And it's interesting, like how if you study about space, it will be like nobody ever been there, but people talking about this. So actually, it's in a 99% of all we talk and read about open space, it's a theories. Like nobody seen like black hole. Black hole. Nobody's seen like a border kind of or known universe, right? It's all kind of like mathematical concepts. It's all kind of some like radio waves or whatever they like convert in certain stuff, and they say like, okay, this kind of like how black hole looks like. It doesn't look like anything ever. It's just probably is there. It might look like something like that. So it's all like becomes like imaginative thing actually. and same, it became so much similar to our inner space when you can like just go inside yourself and imagine like, okay, here I'm another planet, I'm like stuff. So in here, like I have just random story, like two guys walking to bar, and they start to
Two guys walk
fighting,
into a bar.
and
It's
here's
fun.
like say, like one more
Gross.
move, like I will shoot you, and say like, hey, you cannot bring gun here. Like, are you out of your mind? This crazy guy. It's like, why is two thugs in my bar? It's interesting. Something about culture. Because, like, yeah. Yeah,
Like
maybe they
that.
fight, but they don't use guns. You know, they have some rules.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah, that's fun.
And then, yeah, and after like so long time, I find how to continue it. I have this kind of story. I like my favorites. It's like like a driver car and a driver watch a phone. It's like, come on, relax. So relax. It's like just a little bomb, no problem. It's a little bomb.
Oh no.
It's like, yeah.
Oh man,
Oh my gosh, that's intense.
that's fun.
Yeah, just in one
Oh
page.
wow.
I like these little comics.
I
They're
do
good.
too. Oh, it makes me want to make like a comic sketchbook, like dedicate a sketchbook to comics.
Yeah.
So
so
here,
cool.
like after so much time, many pages, I start to like, I need to continue this story with two elves in a bar. So here's like a bartender. He's like, hey, Chopper, like talk to these guys.
Whoa.
Maybe I have better light. It's like, whoa,
That is so
oh
cool.
no. It's like, okay, no problem. I can fight with him. It's like, yeah.
I love the compositions.
Oh no.
Oh, ouch.
That's a nice.
Wow, that's a
composition
really
there.
nice. Love that. I love this texture.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
I like that. I like that composition on the top left. That's a nice.
Oh my
That.
gosh.
No, no.
Just do that to me, like.
And after a fly, like, so just like again, you'll be like punched. Like, don't worry, I can do again. I kind of hear like
He looks like a
using this.
Viking. Whoa! Look at that kick.
It's like, what?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Like he make his
Like a
nose
David and
bleed.
Goliath.
And just like, okay. Roar. Like this miss
These are
again.
fun
Like,
fight scenes.
Wow.
it's like an arm bar.
Yeah.
So I've been watching like UFC something like the
Yeah.
kind of like
My gosh.
break kind of. Because I was thinking like
Ouch.
he's much lighter, like what he actually can do. So like, okay, so
Yeah.
like kind of realistically he can break his arm.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder
like-
how you did it.
Like you are dead. And there kind of is get weird. It's kind of like they say like again I lost story here. As they get to through portals, they get to Moscow.
I look at
like,
how the brushstrokes
whoa.
are like pretty.
Yeah.
We're in Moscow. And here's like police like,
Ooh.
hey, what the hell? Who are you?
Girl with ponytail.
And there was like
Wow.
That's fun.
fighting like with the police in Moscow.
They
Like,
should have made the
wow,
art
kick
book,
their
like,
asses.
Yeah.
And there again, like kind of like, it's weird.
I mean, the fact that you're actually doing these comic pages, it's like amazing. Like
fun.
you're doing it. It's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Now we just need to do
good
comic
stuff.
pages of our own.
Yeah, we need to make comics.
You're asking us how to do it, but meanwhile you've been doing it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I doesn't have any like world buildings there. It's just like whatever, let's see what can happen here, what can happen like next page. Yeah. So, and anyway, it's like give me interest in this like feeling of comic book form, right? Just to see like how I can emotionally to be connected to it, like just catch this like playful drive when yeah, like play like a children. Like I've been drawing comic books like this in the childhood. I would just see like drawing page after page. I didn't know you need to write script. So
That's the fun of it. It's
That
like,
is
wait,
the fun of
that's
it.
fun of it. You make up the words as you go. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
You know, I find that when I think about stories, it's a guilty pleasure, but I like thinking about romance. Like,
mhm.
a good romance is like the pinnacle of a good story. It's like if there's a romance that doesn't have the chemistry or doesn't have, it just kind of is like, wait, why are they in love exactly, and what do they
Yeah.
have to go through the obstacles to get out? It's like there's no like I'm not interested in the story anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's girl brain, you know.
If we're watching
Yeah,
an anime
interesting.
and there's two characters that like each other, but there's not a good reason, Christina's like,
I hate it. Get it out of me. I'm like, I don't like it anymore.
So interesting.
So a lot
No,
of things that do drive like stories is like relationships. I love thinking about the friendship of of certain characters. Like, oh, are they gonna get together? Are they not gonna get together? Because like every story is just a relationship. Like it's just so interesting.
it's interesting
Yeah, I mean,
that you
even
say
like,
this. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like
That's like
I was thinking
for
of the
me.
comic that
Yeah.
you made. Like the relationship between the characters that you're drawing, the two guys fighting, the bald guy and the other guy, and then you, the author, and they care about you, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we want him to keep drawing the comic. Like that
Yes.
relationship
That's a relationship.
it doesn't have it's not like a love relationship or anything. It's like some sort of
Connection.
things happening, and sacrifice, like what you were saying before, like Pinocchio become a person when he sacrificed.
Yeah, no, and
it's
like I
like,
say, it's
I think it's
also
really
is
cool.
this thing like personal connection to comic book. Like I imagine this personal connection when like comic book actually related to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like something like very private and like it start from this connection. So it's like for me why I say like I don't show it, like I show it like after, it's like 2 year after maybe, you know, but in the process
Yeah.
for me it's very important. I tell myself like I will not post it, I will not show it, so it's just between me and comic book. And I kind of it's just I want to build this real relationship, you know. It's like with the people, you don't want it to show for someone, like, you know, like again, like if talk about couples, when people, it's so common, you know, when it's like, so yeah, I want to have a girlfriend, so like everybody see me with her, kind of this thing, right? Like I have a car, I have a girl, and it's like why you ever think you need
Motorcycle.
to, yeah, like why you need always do something for others, like to demonstrate things, right? So same, it should be some like essential, like actually meaningful. So, and I think like same with art, yeah, you show it for others, but you not show it for approval. You show it from like uh abundance, like you just feel like yeah, you know, I think it's really good, and I feel like I like it. It make me smile, it make me happier. I want other people also feel it, right? Like let's share it. And I see so many kind of trash there, and this is really good one, so why I will like hide in it? It should be like this. So, but first it should start from something real. So this kind of practice of building this connection, it's so interesting. It's like became so deep. And I have this like character like who's in a comic book, like he's talking with me, and he's like, I tell him like, okay, like yeah, I have routine, like every day I need to draw 1 page of comic book minimum, like whatever, like let it be like stream of mind, stream of conscience, right? And by right now I have no idea what to draw, and I draw this. I draw this, like I complain, or like I adopt all this, like I talk with a character from comic book, and then I say like, okay, next page. So like, maybe you can help me with the story, and this character say, yeah, I will tell you story, so you listen, and he start to tell me story. Let me show you. So he start to tell me story, and I kind of like, it's not my story, it's his story, you know. So I don't feel like so much pressure, and like
It's like a mental shift. It's like, well, I'm not making a story. It's this character telling the story, so I don't have to like, yeah, that's really
it's
interesting.
like you say, like you imagine it's like a doll house, right? So when you play it like with the dolls, it's a whole idea of dolls for children. It's they kind of shift themselves into dolls. Like say like, it's not me, it's his talking. And it's like in the children psychology, right? Like this, like when you can talk with the children about their feelings or something, like is you cannot speak directly, so they'll say like, hey, look, here is a like Timmy. He just have a conflict with his sister. Like, why he's so angry? And it's like, maybe Timmy, like blah blah blah, because she eat his cookies. You know, so you can get this kind of hard conversation, right? So here's like, I don't know what to draw, and his character like, okay, I can help you write. Like, it's like, oh, you know, you're artist. I don't want to be like, no, tell me story. I'm very interesting. And I say, okay. So say, okay, say like this dude from bar. So have this character like a barman, right? Bald guy barman. So now this my character talking story about him. He says this barman he fall from space. He was just like, I know what the hell. So like I'm falling to Earth, and he's like falling down, and he see like amazing view, all these mountains, nature is like, oh, lakes and rivers, so beautiful. He have like a tear here, and like me is like, weird.
He was having tears because he was falling in the air.
It's like weird. And character, what? Sorry? Oh, sorry, no, continue. Sorry.
So funny.
It's like, so he fallen like, boom, and there was like crater, and like all life around is dead. So he kind of became like like this asteroid killed dinosaurs, you know. So and like this no, it's so he like say like, hey, where you go? And me is like, oh my god, this story is so bad. It's like, you don't like my story? So no. So no, I just want to make some coffee. So, don't drink too much coffee. So then like kind of continue his story. You say like, okay, so dinosaur body everywhere. He's like, no. And it's like, it's not my fault. It's like, of course not your fault. Say, give us no choice. And he's like,
The villain arc.
us? It's like, I mean you. You are a boss. I'm just your follower. And it's like, oh, WTF. Run, like, and it's just like,
The villain.
There's the villain, but it's himself. It's his own shadow.
You're trying to run away from your own shadow. Come on, you're hilarious. So he ran to cave. Like, finally. Like, finally I'm all alone in the cave.
Oh no. Oh, the shadow's even bigger now.
What?
Now the story is cool.
So what? So now story is cool. It's like, yeah, you like it? So yes. So all right. So I'm so glad I have a friend who loves my stories. So kind of, you know, it start. I mean, you see, it's like I'm really start to and it's like this, like, oh my, it's so cool. It look like I have
Yeah.
idea, like it's look like I know what I'm
Yeah.
doing, and it's like absolutely
it
random.
does.
It's just so absurd, and it's so unique. Like if I try to develop it, I don't know. I have no idea. It's just like it's been like so original and unique thing, like kind of this like lucky accident with just like treasure, just pop up from nowhere. It's insane. And this frame kind of, I just like being in this playful state of mind when I just have fun. And somehow this state of mind, it's an important key for creative process. Like I even read just recently, I read book where guy like huge book, he kind of talking about this. He says like, yeah, eventually when they study creative like all these creative people and the creative process, they did a lot of like brain scan and stuff, like see what like activity in the brain. They figure out that it's really like it's essential, crucial to be relaxed, because when you are not relaxed you cannot create, you cannot be like too serious. You should be like playful, like enjoy, have fun. So here again I just talk with like me,
So I
I'm
think
being
that's
so like
interesting.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
like this artist who's so much like not secure. It's like, I don't know, maybe your story can be better. It's like,
Oh,
you don't like my story. So it's so interesting. Like it's not my story, right? Because I'm not sure myself. It's a story of a dude who's like so confident, and he's just like, whatever, just and I know it's some weird, but he don't care. He just tell whatever he want. So okay,
it's almost like
it's
that character is like the embodiment of what you want to be with your stories or something, and then you're just kind of going with the flow. Well, it's funny because when we made our books, like book 2, like we weren't necessarily taking it seriously until we decided that we liked it. And when we decided that we
Hmm.
want a story out of it, then it's like, oh, that's the decision. And so rather than it being like, this just never will be a thing, it's like, no, we're gonna make it a thing. And that's really cool. Like that's so cool. Love seeing this stuff.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like here being the story, like you talk with the shadow,
Wow.
some really random stuff, and then I was like, it happens this like when I need to make comic book for webtoon, so I keep talking, say like, hey, I need to draw another story for webtoon, and so like, okay, let's try to make story for webtoon. So then I start this one. So you see, it's kind of
Oh, it's all coming together.
so you see, it's like
Wow.
it's a live thing. It's really live stuff. And here, like I have sometimes like characters talking with the god. It's like, God, give me everything. It's like, again, really?
Again.
It's like,
That's funny. Again.
like even pain,
He's
suffer, and course. Is a, of course not.
Of course
I,
not.
I want the best.
I want.
Everything the best. It's like, no matter best or not, you already have all. Just do your best.
Do your bit. He doesn't want the pain, but he wants everything that's good. I love that one so much.
Yeah.
That panel's so good. Oh jeez, again.
I need to put it near my work table. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh my gosh,
I
these are
want
so
to.
good.
Where's my ideas? And God's like, again,
Well, it reminds me
again,
of like
you're
Denny's
complaining.
Wortman's stuff. Like I would love to see all these comics, like just like as a
Just published
just
as a
just
set.
these.
Make it one of these.
Make it one of these.
I'll buy it.
I'll buy it. I'll look at it all the time.
I love
Yeah.
that.
It's so good.
Mm. Okay,
Wow.
nice, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe like kind of finish about here. Yes, yeah.
Sure, if you want.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
It was really a lot of fun. Time flies by really fast.
The conversations that play in my head. Yes, it's so good.
Yay!
We should honestly do another one sometime.
I would love to.
It was fun.
Yeah. Nice.
hang out.
Yeah,
Maybe we
let's
can
do
talk
it.
about like a specific subject as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That was
So
really,
have-
really fun.
Yeah,
Got
nice. I
some
like
cat
it.
introductions.
Yeah, like some meaningful conversations.
Yeah,
Так. Okay, so let's
makes me want
include
to work
this.
harder.
That all this kind of, kind of it's like a madness, right? Do you think?
Yeah.
Is it madness?
What's that?
What is madness?
Madness. This is
Game Bond Art.